Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
No matter the political divide you belong to, there's one thing you can't take away from B2B. He is very brilliant, he's very smart. That's why APC members were clapping for him as he schooled them on how to turn things around in Nigeria. With all the comparisons he made, it's not a surprise that Niger State governor started clapping for him. Let's take it.
I've said it this every day. I am not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see Nigeria fight poverty. And I listened to what the keynote speakers said today. And you could see it in my tweet yesterday. We have no reason being part of poverty in the world, especially in the North. They not have no reason to be poor. We make more money in this country from agriculture than we make from oil any day, anytime. Because it's happening everywhere. I read yesterday that Ukraine is giving Nigeria grain. Ukraine is at war. The whole of northern Nigeria is 268,000 square kilometers. Ukraine is 603,000 square kilometers. They have no reason to give us grain because we have the land. Why are they giving us grain? Because 60% of their land is cultivated, 60% of our own is uncultivated. And the people even say it's for Northeast. I might be governor of Niger State is there. Niger State can feed Nigeria. Niger State can feed Africa. Niger State is occupying 76,300 square kilometers of land. They can feed Nigeria. Netherlands, with 33,000 square kilometers, which Niger State is twice, exported last year $125 billion of agricultural products. Niger State can do 5% of that, which is 6 billion. They don't need to come to Abuja. Northeast is collapsing. They say there's a problem in the Northeast. It shouldn't be. The two biggest states in Northeast, Borno and Taraba combined. Borno alone is over 70,000 square kilometers. Taraba is 54,000. Two of them combined is 125,000 square kilometers. 4 times the size of Belgium. About 1,000 square kilometers. And Belgium is doing over 20 billion export. There's so much we can do with this country. Let people stop wasting everybody's time and put these young people that are giving us problems in terms of criminality out of poverty. And you reduce criminality. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. It's as simple. People make it look difficult. Let's invest in the North. We have what it takes to make Nigeria. Let's do it now. Thank you. God bless you.
This is the second award P2B has received the past few days. This one is from leadership. They awarded him the political person of the year. The other one was from some newspapers. Yes, Niger State has everything to gain from agriculture. Remember how P2B made it his campaign mantra? He was always saying it. That was why he scored significant votes in Niger State, especially in Suleja. Many residents genuinely believe that he will bring the agricultural revolution in Niger State. That was why they voted for him. And the Niger State governor is actually making some investments geared towards the agricultural revolution in their state. But we'll wait for some time to see how far he will go. There's nothing wrong in collaboration. Nothing is stopping him from approaching P2B to get some ideas. Please, sir, can you give me ideas on what to do, how to achieve that agricultural revolution in Niger State? There's nothing wrong in that. After all the campaigns are over, you can always cross party lines. But the question is, will he do it? You see, this is why politicians don't like P2B. They hate his guts. Politicians are like middlemen. They feel they are like a bridge between the person that wants to contest election and the masses that vote in election. P2B bypassed everyone. He went directly to the masses and told them, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Rise up and take back your country and stop the criminality.
We're promising you that Niger State will be secured.
Many politicians didn't like this because they operate transactional politics. That's why when they get to power, they literally enrich themselves alone and their cronies. They never execute projects that will be mass oriented, that will actually change the lives of the people. They believe that when they want to contest election, they spend money and buy people and coerce them into voting for them. When they get to power, they do whatever they want. After all, it's like an investment. They made that investment, they will recover their investment with profit. And the cycle continues. This is why Nigeria is not working, because politicians who get to power this way will never develop the society, because development means people will have jobs. From getting jobs, they will start affording the good things of life. They will reach to a stage where politicians can no longer buy them. The more people are educated, the less you can coerce them into voting based on religion or ethnicity. So the politicians know all this. That's why they weaponize poverty. If people are poor, you can easily buy them over to vote for you and you get to power. The next person continues the cycle. But if they are not living in poverty, they can point out the mistakes of the government and say, hey, this man is supposed to do it this way instead of that way. They will not reward failure with re-election. That's how it works. So this is why politicians hate P2B's guts. They know that with someone like him in power, the chances of corrupt politicians being voted to office will be near zero. So P2B will literally put them out of jobs. There are politicians who have no other job except living off politics. Election seasons are the time they make a lot of money from candidates contesting for different positions in election. After the elections, they start living off the politicians who were voted in office. They start playing hangers on, psychophancy, a lot of things. When a new election comes, the cycle continues. This is why elected politicians always keep slush funds. They use these funds to maintain their political associates, people who work for them during elections. The political jobbers who have no other job. It is from this cycle you see this cycle will never stop. This is why there is corruption.
Big drone companies don't want you to buy this new $99 American military drone. It's so
The slush funds will also be used by the politician for his re-election campaign. You already know how they get money that they put in the slush funds. They get it through corrupt means, over invoicing, outright stealing of public funds, and the illegal security votes that no one accounts for. All executive office holders in Nigeria are entitled to the illegal security vote. They keep this money in cash under the guise that they wouldn't need to be going to any bank, running around to raise money when there is a security emergency in the state. They will quickly need to mobilize police and other security agents to go and fight the issue. But the problem with this is that they never account for the money. This is public money. Even the state assembly or the national assembly can never question the president or a governor on how he used security votes. This is very, very illegal. Remember the likes of Ibori and other governors that went to jail? It was from security votes that they stole all the money from the state treasury. Ibori, for instance, was budgeting about 500 million naira as security votes in the early 2000s. Remember, there was community crisis at the time in Delta State. All the money they claimed to be paying soldiers at the time ended up in their pockets. Imagine if corrupt politicians took only 10% of the amount of money they steal and use the rest to develop the society. That will still guarantee that their kind of person will be elected in the future, because people will see what they are doing. They will say, he's been working, let's re-elect him or support the candidate he supports, that kind of thing. But they will rather take all the money and even steal into credit. They will borrow money from banks and steal all of them, keeping the country impoverished. That's why they weaponize that poverty to get elected. But time is coming when Nigerians will realize that all the lies have never taken them out of poverty. There will be a time when they will say, no, keep the money. I'm not taking any money from you to vote for you. I would rather vote for the person that I think will turn around the country so that I will be able to earn more money. That is what it should be. Thanks for watching.
I've consulted with my young brother and everything, and I know there will be other things coming from the big men who are here. But for us, From now, your education, tuition, accommodation, feeding, till you graduate, will be taken care of by the base university. Thank you. I know that.
Fellas, summer's coming. So here's the deal. Fabletics, all Fabletics.
President of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see Nigeria fight poverty. And I listen to what the keynote speakers said today.
After Peter Obi's statistics-filled speech at the Leadership Award ceremony where he was named the Political Person of the Year 2023, mesmerized by Peter Obi's in-depth knowledge of how to solve Nigeria's many problems, the governor of Naija State, Omar Bago, rained praises on Peter Obi. Let's take a listen.
We have cleared deliberately over 1 million hectares of land. So, my boss, you are very right to what you have said. We have no reason to be poor. People may not like you, but they must hear you. Because what you say is the gospel truth. Nigeria needs to be productive. You cannot be out of poverty unless you start to produce. I'm not an advocate of handout or palliatives too. I don't believe in it. So it is high time we tell ourselves the basic truth. We need to feed ourselves. And it's a shame for people like Ukraine in war to be giving us food. But I assure you in this room today, leadership group, the next award you will give me, if you will ever give me, is the largest producer of food in 2024. Federal government is doling out 42,000 metric tons of grains. And by June, I will give out only in Naija State 100,000 metric tons of food. And it's deliberate.
Looking at Omar Bago's countenance, you can feel he's genuinely worried and thinking, what have we been doing all along? Why haven't we taken advantage of the massive land in Niger State? Why haven't we been earning millions or even billions of dollars? It's not late. The most important thing is starting out at all. When you begin the journey and do all the right things with commitment, you will achieve all your goals. We all want a Nigeria that works. It's not just Niger State that has the advantage. Taraba State also has massive arable land. They can earn millions of dollars from exporting tea, flowers, and other farm produce. Just like Peter Obi has been hammering on Niger State, isn't it time the governors of Borno and Taraba State woke up and invested massively in agriculture? By the way, Omar Bago just received tractors. Like he said, they've mapped out 1 million hectares to cultivate. So we'll see how far he will go by next year. Just like Alex Oti is expecting the modular refinery in Abia State to start operations by next year, all governors must be held to account. But the reason the president is criticized more is because to whom much is given, much is expected. A Nigerian president is so powerful, nearly more powerful than other presidents in democratic countries around the world. He controls all the natural resources in Nigeria. Unlike in the 60s when we were in the First Republic, it was the federating units that controlled all their resources. Now that all states go to Abuja to receive allocation, many governors have become lazy. Once they receive the allocation, they will just spend it anyhow they want without having a plan to develop their states. So we look forward to the many projects that some governors will implement in their states. By next year, they would have spent about 2 years in office for those who were elected in 2023. And by that half term, like Nigerian politicians operate, they would have started campaigning for their re-election. Thanks for watching.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Neka, welcome. Victory all the way. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come on board. One Nigeria, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Highly favored, thank you. Good to see you. It's been a while too. Greetings and good morning to you, one Nigeria. I guess it's morning over where you are. My people, how na day now? What did they happen? What's crack a lacking? More. See, you know the last time we spoke, it's already Thursday. Ah, that's right. One Nigeria, it's already Thursday. That's true. It's late. It's early hours of the morning, though. Wow, you're up early. But thank you so much for stopping by. You guys remember the last live we were on, right? We're talking about how we're going to move Nigeria forward, and I said that the best way, the most sensible way that I'm saying is for the states to start trying to get the best governors for themselves for their states. That's the immediate solution right now. And as you guys know, the Edo election is coming up, right? And I think Olumide Osaigbovo Akpata is coming tomorrow, right? He's coming to one of the spaces on Twitter. I may actually, I think I'm going to bring it. I'm going to stream it here so that you guys can take a listen as well. Now the guy is coming, and people have a lot of questions for him, and all of that. So we'll see what happens, because for me, it's the best governor that me I'm after. Are you going to work for the entire Edo state? Are you going to work not just one side of it? I mean, like work for the entire, the north, the south, the central, Akoko Edo areas, Onwa, what's this other place? Ora. So many places within Edo, the number of kingdom when they inside that Edo state, no be small. People don't know. That is the candidate me I am interested in. Every other thing is wash. I don't care about your credentials. Can you work for the people? That's my own. Because if you ask me, Edo State is the worst state in Nigeria. My personal opinion. My personal opinion. Again, I repeat, my personal opinion. It's my state. So as far as I'm concerned, it's the worst state. It's like a sinkhole. The roads are bad. When it rains, you can't go anywhere. You're like trapped. Some communities have been cut off because of the erosion, how bad the erosion is. Imo, welcome, long time. I know. I did. How are you now? How's everything? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. You know, the erosion, everything. There's so many the young people that they're buying them every day because of cult activities and stuff like that. Some of them are crossing the ocean unnecessarily. So for me, my interest in any candidate is dependent on what he can actually do to ensure that he secures the citizen of that state and provides the resources for them to be able to express themselves in a creative way and be the best version of themselves. You understand? So, um, exactly, we need to give them higher demand. That's right. We need to ask, we need to put, because I'm done, all these sentiments that Nigerians have, politicians, oh, this one, that one, man, forget f sentiments. So look at Abia State, look at what Abia people are enjoying. Hey God, do you know the man is doing a seaport? He's working on a seaport, my people. Hey. I dey look wetin the man dey do, I dey bow. In 8 freaking months, in 8 months, when you have leaders that have been your state governors, That man has put the governors under pressure. I'm telling you, in 8 months, this man has achieved what presidents for years, for over 40 years or so, that Nigeria has been in, that they've never been able to, over 50 years, that they've not been able to achieve. Eh? And he's still working. He has not rested. And he's not collecting salary, oh, my people. Yeah, Alex Oti is not collecting salary. So he's just a governor for volunteer. You don't hear that one before. You don't ever hear where they say governor not collect salary for Nigeria. More, if una don hear, more na tell me, I stand to be corrected. That man is doing amazing things. So that's a cue for the remaining states that do not have governors. Omo, you better get your act together and shine your eye. You need a governor that you can, one, hold accountable, that people can hold by the jugular, as they make demands on that particular governor to perform. Look at Alex Oti. When people were calling him out and saying, why didn't he patronize Nord, no, not what's the name of the car manufacturing company in the East? What are they called? Innocent Motors, instead of buying, foreign made cars. People were calling him out on social. This man came and explained why. Hey, me gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ rí. He came to explain to the people why he chose to buy foreign cars. He said, I think at that time, he said that the Innocent Motors had run out or so. They had run out, they had to make more. So and they couldn't wait. So that's why they had to go and buy foreign cars. But they had invested in buying Innocent Motors. Think about that for a minute. Imagine if all the state governors in Nigeria were actually, people were holding them to account, like what we're seeing happen in Abia State right now. Do you think that people will be so concerned about the federal? They won't be so concerned. And by the way, I heard that they're trying to, whether they've already agreed for people to have state policing, and somebody can come and correct me if I'm wrong. The idea of state policing, I think they have approved it for states to have their own police. I could be wrong, though, but somebody can come and correct me, please. I've shared my link. I'm telling you. So imagine if you get your state policing and you have the resources, you're developing your communities. Tell me, what will carry anybody from anywhere to go to another place and say, okay, this is where I want to permanently plant myself? If you have all the resources in your particular community, you just stay in your community, you develop the community, you invest your ideas in your community. If at all you need to go outside, you are going to share what you know with other communities, and interact and form alliances with other people and come home and build on your network. That's the only reason why you should decide you want to go somewhere else. All these places like Lagos that is overcrowded, Abuja that is overcrowded, a lot of people will not want to stay in those places because the jobs will be right next to their grandmother's house, their mother's house, their uncle's houses, and they will all live in community. You have family every corner you turn. So this is the way forward for Nigeria. I think that people should take their a gubernatorial election seriously. The rest of the states that have not conducted their elections, they need to take it very, very seriously. No joke whatsoever. They need to take it seriously. So um and then you guys see what Peter Obi has done now. He has given that keke napep driver that returned a huge sum of money back to the owner. He has given him free scholarship. And did you guys hear where the governor of the state promised the guy? I think he promised him 250 million naira. I'm like, why? That's excess. That 250 million, if I take do better thing, take care of security for a state, so that people can go back to their farm. So people were saying that because he was afraid that maybe Peter Obi will outdo him. I'm like, Peter Obi doesn't act. That's the problem. Peter Obi is not on their level. I don't know why these people want to compare themselves and contest with Peter Obi. He's not on their level. He's not thinking the way they're thinking. The man has given scholarship. He has moved on. You are not giving one person 250 million. The kilo day when your state is importing seed from Ukraine, you no go solve the one wey you go fit solve right now. It's not yet granted. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's still a debate. Ah, so, so that's why I saw it somewhere. So that's why I said I stand to be corrected, because I did see it somewhere where it was spoken about that they're talking about state policing, which I think is a good idea, because if states are in charge of their policing, I think some of this banditry, terrorism will be greatly reduced. It will be great. I don't even understand, for your own state again you have to wait for federal government to give you go ahead. It makes no sense. No wonder you see policemen dey use nylon bag take dey do belts. Dem go take plastic bag tear am into one, make am one, take am do belt. Look at their uniform. um God abeg o, look at where they live. No care. Look at the food, look at what they feed them. They don't even feed them. They just send them out to go and be collecting bribe from people that their oga will still collect from their hand and give them small small. Nigeria, kai, I no know. Una hear say una bubu go where? Na Qatar dey say e go. Na museum manager na im come welcome am. Oh my God. Ay, Nigeria oh. Hey, I no know who do us. Na tour guides. Na im dey talk to your president with im children, im jobless children, NFAs wey dem follow am. Tell me wetin those ones go do. Dem say na for dem to dey exposed to learn. Wetin dem dey learn? Dem no get work wey dem dey do. So na just sit down for wait for daddy to be stealing money and give it to them. Well, what do you expect from parents like that, a father like that? What do you expect? What do you expect really? There's nobody should expect much from somebody when you get papa like that, God forbid. eh Carter say don't come, the man insisted, he went. eh the man insisted, he went, only to be received by the tour guide. Dem come dey do tourism to museum. How? What a shame, Nigeria. Then he now told them, if any of his people, Agbado said, if any of his people ask them for bribe, that they should come and report to him directly. Is that not a shame of monumental proportions? You are telling an outsider that if your people come and meet them, ask them for bribe, they should come and tell you directly. That already tells you that you don't even know what you are doing. For you to be warning an outsider that if they ask you for bribe, come and meet me, come and report to me. So you don't have any checks and balances. Your people just do whatever they like. All they do is lie, lie, lie. There is no project, not one that they have done that's working, not one. eh we need his head, not his body. We need association of we need his head, not his body. Where are they? Where are they? Association of we need his head, not his body. eh it's really, I mean, I don't know, it really is sad. It is really sad. Look at, somebody was showing videos of houses in Abuja, estates in Abuja filled with empty and abandoned houses in the heart of Abuja. If you see the build, let me show you guys. Let me not be seeing only me, let me see this one. Let me show it to you guys. These people, kai, empty houses, my people. Hmm.
Another part of Boa
All
Estate.
empty. Oh.
Hmm. Allah is over. Another part of Boa Estate.
Look at it.
Empty houses.
Empty. This is an estate.
Wow. Allah is over. Empty, empty street. Kai. Subhanallah.
After they when they don't
Inside the
thief
heart of
money
Abuja.
finish, they'll use and build and na there they hide some of this their money.
Can you
See am.
imagine?
All
Small pot.
estates empty.
Small pot is
Empty.
living in these houses.
Money when they thief,
You
when
can
they
see
no
in
dey
these
carry
houses.
go anywhere.
Subhanallah.
Meanwhile, people don't have anywhere to stay. They are in IDP
Allah is
camps.
over. Kai. Ano-
Ah, na sure. Nigeria matter, eh? Kai, welcome Ifi. How you dey now?
My sister, good evening. Oh, so
Good evening, oh. Welcome, oh. How you dey? Happy Wednesday, oh.
happy Wednesday, my dear. So, question, I saw
Hmm.
this thing on social media,
Right.
and I'm asking, what happened to that estate? Is it because of the? I did,
I
my
dey hear
sister.
you. I dey hear you. Hmm. I dey hear you. You can talk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. I was just
Okay.
breathing. I was just sighing.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So, my question: those houses, what happened to it and who owned those houses? Because I don't understand how a whole estate in Abuja will just be completely deserted. Nobody's living there. Is it because of the insecurity?
No, Mama. You know what these people do? When they thief money, eh? When they steal money like that, this is a way of them hiding it. Somebody explained this. This is how they hide the money so that they can't be traced. So when they thief the money like that, you're bound and one person and get that estate. They go buy the estate, build it, they go bury money inside some of those houses. Somebody told me that there are lots of houses like in the Aja area, Lekki area, empty. Do you
Wow.
understand? So let's say they come, maybe they decide, okay, they want to investigate now, right? No matter what they investigate, they'll never find all that money. You know, they don't put those monies in the bank. You know that, right? Some of them they hide it, they will dig ground. How many? I think there was a video, was it during the election? When
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
aha,
mm-hmm,
where they
mm-hmm,
dig ground, see money, the money
mm-hmm.
for
Rotten,
inside ground. Some of them don't it don't
rotten.
rot in. Thank
Mhm.
you. That's what they do. So they build houses on top of it.
Let me say something. I
Go
just
ahead.
hope that the death of this guy, this Access Bank man, I just hope he's gonna teach a lot of Nigerian politicians lesson.
For where? Go ahead. Hmm.
I just hope. I feel so sad. I don't even want to look at him, listen to the whatever, it breaks my heart, right? Because he died, his wife, just like the whole family wiped out, right? But what amount of money what are you gonna buy? Even the Indian man that the son got married last weekend, he has a $6 million worth of wristwatches and this and that. And so what? The same time it's gonna show on the $6 million water. It's the same time that it's gonna show on my Timex. It's the same time. It's just a title.
These people don't
Whether
think
you
like this. They don't think
whether
like
you
this.
carry Gucci or I carry the one from Michael Kors or whatever from Walmart, it's still gonna serve the same purpose. I don't get it, honestly speaking. This is just I don't understand the greed we had in that country that people are suffering. You can only sleep in one room. You can only use one restroom. You can only drive one car. Everything you can only do it one. You can only wear one cloth at the same time, one pair of shoes at the same time. So what for? I don't know.
My sister.
I don't know, honestly.
Somebody said, somebody said, Nigerian politicians are not human. So I was yesterday on a space I was on. The person said they were saying that the problem of politics in Nigeria is men because of their ego, especially in Nigerian space. Now, so men, I full up. You go at least three women. Somebody now came up and said men have not ruled in Nigeria. What people, the things that have been ruling, that's how the person put it. The things they have been ruling have been demonic entities. They are not human. They are insatiable. They are never satisfied. They keep taking and taking. There's no end to their taking. The more they take, the more they want. The more they take, the more they want. They squander resources just because they want it for themselves. He said those are demonic entities. They are not human beings. They are not human. So to answer the question, no man has ever ruled in Nigeria. That thing sent cold chills down my spine. Yeah. Because look, think about it. It's not normal. A man has a wealth without enterprise. He keeps taxing people. His own is to tax people, squeeze life out of people to get money. Think about all your billionaires. What work made them billionaires? Apart from the ones that work hard, though, and mind you, the ones that worked hard for their money, you don't hear of them. They are just living their life like normal people. You don't go know. If person come out now saying be billionaire, if you see Peter Obi for road, they not tell you, you go waka pass am. There are many billionaires like that in Nigeria working. You will know. Why be say na the ones wey no work for their money na dem dey loud pass, and na dem dey greedy pass. They want to chop their children own, chop their grandchildren own, chop their family own. They are ready to give their family, their wife, to remain in that position and continue to eat money. Why? It is not normal. That's not a normal thing. Greed, the greed is not of this. I don't understand where that kind of greed comes from. Because even if you're chopping, you will look people say, no, let me do something for these people. So even if I'm chopping, I won't feel this one's not the way they think, and they don't give a damn. Look at this man's entourage in Lagos coming in. They literally shut down one side of the road. You know how bad traffic is in Lagos. Everywhere there was no movement on the other side. Only for this man with how many cars? He reached like 100 entourage. That cannot be normal. So I could not help but agree with this person that gave this submission yesterday that it is demonic entities that have been ruling. No man has ruled. I agree. I'm telling you, I'm saying right now, if you have not yet voted for governor, as in your governorship election is coming up, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, whether it's 2 years time, be preparing and look, election now is war. That's how you have to take it. This Edo election that is coming up, I've been listening to spaces where people have been discussing it and all of that, right? The way they are preparing for the election,
It's a do or die affair.
like people are ready. You know why? They see what Abia State can become in 8 freaking months. They're like, so these people have been cheating us. So it's like Alex Oti has removed the veil from people's eyes.
But we know that before now, Omoye.
We know.
We all know that.
We know.
Government is not a rocket science.
Exactly. But
Me and you, I think you live in California. I can see what your governor is doing. He's doing a good job that if he come out the third and fourth time, they might even still vote for him.
Absolutely.
So it's not a rocket science, my
It's
sister.
not. You know why it's rocket science to Nigerians? They've never experienced good governance. So for them to be saying that another governor can do it within Nigeria, that is the whole thing. That's what it's like. What? So this can happen? So now the lady Professor Nena Oti, who stood her ground. Do you know the threat? Somebody came on space and said the threat that woman went through. You don't want to know the half of it. That's what the woman was saying. This lady that came to talk, she was very close to the family. She said the threats that that woman faced is not something she can share. That woman, she was like, she was ready to give it all. She said, I would rather, she said she would rather buy than give it up. I'm telling you, it got that bad. That's how much threats they made. To a threat to her life. She did not care. She stood her ground. So now other states that were able to steal the election, the ones that the lily livered professors, useless professors that gave up the future of their generation because of small money, they are now in regret. That's what this person was sharing yesterday. I'm telling you, now the only way to get Nigeria back, it is, I dey lis ten to people dey prepare for Edo election. Hey God, e be like people dey wear, they dey ready. You know when there's the, e be like say when they dey those epic movies where people go wear armour, dey sharpen their sword, dey ready for battle. Na so e be. I dey lis ten, I say, hey God, election o, I want you to come and represent me o. Na im be dis o.
But, honestly speaking, it's up to Edo people to make that decision.
Oh yeah.
If they want this
Absolutely.
election to be free and fair, no matter how much they want to rig this election, it's totally up to them. Because
Oh
what
yeah.
I see in Nigeria is it's all about party. Edo is PDP. That is not the point. What happened to what did the former governor, the current governor, the people that have ruled or whatever, govern your state? I hate to use the word ruled, govern your state. Tell me what they have done for you guys.
Zero.
It's not about party. It's all about somebody, even if the person is partyless, but let the person get the job done. Somebody posted something on social media. Maya, I don't know if you saw that. He said, by the time I left Soti finish with Abia State, you will require a visa to come to Abia.
My sister, I go apply. Let him make it visa entry
You will
only. I
require
no
a
mind.
visa
I
to come
will
to
apply. I will apply.
Abia.
Please. I will apply. We
Eh?
put in my form on time early because I know
Can
say
you
the list
imagine?
go long. I will apply.
Gosh.
Hmm.
Oh, my sister. Wow.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
I don't say the election. It is the governor that will work. I don't like the reason why I don't like the old parties that have been ruling before. They have not done anything. There's nothing, they don't have anything to show under them. That state has not, is like a sinkhole. When I started this show, that's what I started with. Edo State is like a disappearing city.
But
It's the worst city in Nigeria as far as I am concerned. Do you understand?
But the thing is that even with the LP, the Apata guy, the LP guy, with what happened or what is going on now, I have never seen anybody from LP that have come out challenge this government. I have not. So that's why just everything is so confusing because they will hide under political parties. Most of the people that won the election because of P2B. I believe this
Exactly.
guy, is going into this election with the help of P2B. Do you
Exactly.
understand? Then when
Yeah.
they get in there, they become a lion and a tiger,
That's the
and
thing.
nobody can talk to them anymore.
God
That
go
is my
bless you.
fear.
That
And
God go bless you. Go ahead.
and our country is not the type of country that when things are not going well, you see people troop out and protest. It's not. So that's why I just went inside. I said, I'm even tired of Nigerian politics. Let me focus in American politics. That's one is the one that sweets me. If you win, you win. If you lose,
Exactly.
you know that this one is not a question of this person rigged the election. No. If you win, you know that you win. If you lose, you know that you lose. There is no mago. There is no rigging there. So I don't Nigerian politics or whatever. APC will do everything. Even if let's say LP wins this election, do you think they're gonna give it to them? I doubt.
LP is ready. LP is ready.
Okay.
And that's what I'm telling you that this election, LP people are, they know it's war. Do you understand
Okay.
what I'm saying? So
All
they
right.
themselves are ready. That's the whole point. Like they themselves are ready. I've been in spaces. Now I haven't made up my mind what candidate because I have family on both sides. And
Okay.
all attempts to try and merge and say, okay, you people on the ground, because now then go vote, me no go dey there, right? And everybody has strong arguments. You ask someone to say, okay, how are we sure that it's not this outgoing one that has gone to bring
Godfather.
his cousin? Because
Godfather.
exactly, the cousin is Akpata. Obaseki and Akpata, they are cousins.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah, the
Oh
same
wow.
house. So now there's that concern. Do you understand? So you see how very confusing this whole thing is. That's why me, I'm not even saying anything. If you notice, I'm not even saying, I'm not posting, I'm not, because I am like, I'm weak. The man is coming tomorrow on a space that they invited him on. And I'm
Which
waiting
one?
for him to come. Yes, so I can ask him, or hopefully I'll have the opportunity to ask him questions tomorrow. And other people will be able to ask him tough questions tomorrow. Because it is a very tricky one. This is a man from the same house. It doesn't make sense. Now, how are we sure that they are not in the dark? Say, don't worry, you just position yourself, try and grab this ticket here, right? It will be a win-win for us. Me, I will now push one candidate forward because it's the turn of Edo Central, the zoning thing now. Let's give it to them in the PDP.
That is still our problem, my
You
sister.
understand?
Zoning and no
APC.
zoning.
Let's also zone it to so in case
It's,
PD,
it is
PDP and APC they are one.
it
So
is
if you
our
ask me,
problem, my
all of
sister.
them look like one to me.
It's
So I'm
our
very quiet and subtle. I'm listening to everybody. I'm looking at both sides of the argument. Whenever I need to chip in, I chip in. But I am holding my peace. I'm not sure. I can't even me when I carry Peter Obi matter for head like bread. I not fit even hawk my own face. Eh?
I
Yeah,
honestly don't know. I wish
that's the only thing. They're like, okay, because it's Labour Party and we can hold him to account and all of that. You have less, you won't have godfathers or you have less godfathers to kiss. And people can call. That's the only reason why I'm like, okay, maybe because we can call him out. But even the party that is coming for is corrupt. Look at the chairman. Well, I know we lie to you, this Nigerian election. Oh. Hey, Ejiofor Chris, welcome. Long time. Oh, how body I dey, oh, my brother. How you dey now? How your own body? How body? How everything? Eh? Yeah, I know. I know. I can't just make up my mind. I just broke it down now, victory. Don't you see anything in the argument I'm making? Doesn't it make sense to you? The only thing that is about the Labour Party is that because of Alex Oti, because you can hold him to account. The way we are calling out Alex Oti when he has misstep, we can do that with a Labour Party governor. That's why I'm even like, okay, well, let me look at this. He's coming tomorrow. I haven't heard him. I want to hear him directly,
who
and
is
hopefully
that?
I'm able to ask him questions tomorrow. I'm waiting for that to happen and see how I feel, and then I'll decide. Otherwise, I'm not in a rush at all. Trust me, I am not in a rush because this Edo politics is a tough one. Like people are literally divided. It's not joke. Families are divided against this.
Okay, let me
Because,
ask you a question.
Mhm. Go ahead.
The family, the people that are divided, can they tell me, the reason why they have to support this current the PDP or the people, the current governor?
Okay.
Because
So
you
let me
look around it.
yeah.
Because my thing is that, for example, I live in the state of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Omoye, when I voted, right, I voted as a Democrat, right?
Right.
However, I'm not gonna lie to you. You see, the governor for this state, in they try well. In they try well, na Republican, but in the
Mm-hmm.
two work. So if he's coming, even though this is his second tenure, let's assume he's coming out the third tenure, I will vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about black or white. Yes, he is Oyibo. The other person, this thing. But that's not the point. Do you know how many times, can you ever imagine saying that a state has excess money? and they're refunding, giving us money back.
Hmm.
I'm
Wow.
telling you, no matter how much you made, so far you pay tax, you will get money. Money 350. I think it was 350 or 300. Yeah. So I
Wow.
mean, we need to put the color by the side. We need to put the party by the side. When I'm talking about, I know Obasaki is supporting this. I don't know his name. He's gonna be his godfather. But the question I'm asking Edo people: what did Obasaki did for you people? Let's
Hmm.
start from there. If you cannot pinpoint anything other than it is my turn, or we will keep this a PDP in Edo State, you people are gonna lose. These people, they don't care about you.
Right. So let me, from that angle, let me talk. It's not, I'm not, and this is from the sentiments on ground, and this is from what I was told. Right. So during this Peter Obi election, I remember I was on a live, right, and I was new to the whole Nigerian politics, and I remember there were state elections that came up. We're talking about. They now said that for Edo State, that the Edo State election is coming up this year, right? And that I said, oh, okay. So they now said now is the time of Edo Central. I didn't know about, whether I didn't know about all this zoning and all of that. Somebody explained it to me like it's zoned for fairness because you don't want to have. Hey, Kenny Abe, can you mute? There's noise in that background. So that the zoning is for fairness, so that everybody equity, so that everybody can get rotation, right? Now, Edo State, Edo Central has been relegated for over 24 years. Granted, it's been under PDAPC, right? Now, Labour Party had the opportunity to own this. This would have been a home run. So it was Labour Party that goofed, really, right? Because the Labour Party chairman, mind you, is from Edo Central. You would expect that he would ensure that they secure a candidate that will run under Labour Party, a viable candidate, because they have viable candidates, I tell you, in Edo Central. They do. Now he didn't do that. He decided to leave it open. You have to understand that you and I, say we not dey this, we not dey house. Our eye don't see many things. Now different country we dey stay. We understand that your kin folk is not necessarily the person that will save you or provide the necessary things for you or give you the opportunities. You and I understand that. In Nigeria, they don't understand that one. You see, this zoning thing is big for them. Meanwhile, they've been watching and being agreeable, saying, yes, it's okay. All right, we're agreeable. Because somebody shared today, and I learned that today actually, that there was a guy called Aneni. I remember hearing that guy's name.
And
He
then
was like Aneni. He was like a PDP strong person or APC. I don't know, one of these elders. So anytime it's about, they always come to meet him to talk to the Esan people, the Edo Central people, and he's like the godfather or whatever. So he knows how to talk to the Ono Jays and the elders, and they are always agreeable. So they've been marginalized for over 20 something years. So this is the time, because the Edo South has been ruling for 14 years. Edo North has had it for 8 years. And then I think there was a short time period where they had somebody from Edo Central. Something happened, court came in, and then they threw him out, and Oshomole came in, right? So Edo Central has not had it at all. So this would have been a golden opportunity, a golden time, so LP can go and look for a viable candidate to bring to Labour Party, so everybody will rally around it. But the chairman decided to leave it open because of allegation of fraud, allegedly fraud. Wanted to collect money. They were selling tickets for like 30 million and stuff like that. Do you understand?
yeah.
So guess what? The highest bidder can get am. That is the story. Now, I stand to be corrected. This is what has been floating. Personally, for me, I don't care where the person comes from, but I empathize and I understand the sentiment. I'm from Edo Central, right? I understand the sentiment. I do. So if you say, okay, what will this is because me and you have that understanding. You have to know people on ground in Nigeria, how many times did they get lights to even watch television to know what they happen? All they know and they are aware of and they've been waiting for is now our turn. You no understand? So no matter how you look at it, they have to find a way to appease the Edo Central because they've always worked at Edo's always voted as one. They will come together, find a way to agree with everybody, and they will give the ticket to whoever they need to give it to. But now, for the first time, it's divided. Why? Because even within Edo South people are saying, some of them are saying, no, it is the turn of Edo Central. We must give it to Edo Central person because we have been there long enough. Edo North is the same thing. So my fear in all of this, because I have to remain neutral and listen to both sides, my fear is that they should not go and turn this thing into a fight and then APC will not get it. Because even the palace has said it should be zoned to Edo Central. So this thing is not just it's not as easy as we are looking at it. It's not as easy as you and I talking and understanding and say, yeah, I get it. That makes sense. Yeah. These are people who don't think the way we are thinking. That is the problem.
My sister, I know that Oba has a very big influence, right? A very big influence when it comes to issues concerning the Edo. So why can't he intervene?
Yeah, sorry. Good evening, Ife.
Good evening, Kene. Sorry, you asked me a question, Kene. Sorry.
Yeah, so what I was saying is pretty much what Ife said about she actually posed the same question, like what has PDP or APC done for Edo people that they will, because Apata is not from Edo Central, go and vote APC or PDP. It doesn't make sense. Zoning is for equity and justice, right? It makes sense to zone. But the same people that are making zoning right now, 20 years later, an issue, are the same people that never considered zoning in the past. I'm from Anambra, just like Ife, right? When Pete Obi finished his tenure, he insisted that the next governor comes from Anambra North, which that's how Obiano came in. If he didn't do that, Obiano will never be governor, right? Because Peter Obi's side or our side of Anambra will always dominate, no matter what.
Brother, let me say something. Let me interrupt you a little bit. Yeah. And don't you think that Peter Obi making that statement, that was the biggest regret ever? You see
that I'm coming to that now, because Obiano didn't perform.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, Obiano didn't perform for 8 years. I would have preferred. Okay, I understand the reason why Peter Obi was doing that, because Peter Obi is too nice. I understand that, but when Obiano came in and did the first term, as Anambra people, we could have at least try and remove him after the first tenure. But even Peter Obi, I'm sure, would have made sure that that didn't happen, right? And we gave Obiano 8 years, and everything Peter Obi did just pretty much almost went to waste. I say almost because it seems like Soludo is even doing worse. So it could have been beneficial for us if after Peter Obi in Anambra State, we went to the polls to vote for somebody that can do the job. and not necessarily someone that is from a part of the state that that hasn't been favored before. Now, if you take that and superimpose on the Edo situation, it's the same thing. Like, just the people should just vote who can do the job. Someone like this guy has already shown like has already put a good step forward by even accepting an invitation to Twitter Spaces to come and talk to the people, to come and not necessarily talk to the people actually, because Spaces is about answering questions, and you cannot screen the questions, right? So it's not like everything is prepared or anything. So the fact that he's even coming out to like listen to the people, address their concerns and things like that, that's a huge step forward actually. That shows that he's open to work for everybody. But APC and PDP, they're into dirty politics, like big time. And they're gonna twist this whole thing in such a way that, like you said, if care is not taken, they might use this, especially PDP, they might use this as an advantage to, have their person in there and continue their stupid legacy of messing up the whole state. Because Obaseki is there. He didn't do anything for 8 years. Obaseki himself was answerable to a godfather. Then this new person will be answerable to Obaseki. So this new person from PDP, if he enters there, he will not be able to do anything. He will not be able to do anything. So for the sake of good governance, my advice will be, let the LP guy vote the LP guy, let him get in there. Then you can pressure him. I don't even think you have to even pressure him. If he's doing well, nobody's pressuring Alex Oti. Alex Oti is just doing the right thing. So it's not like somebody can go and pressure Alex Oti. He's already doing the right thing. This LP guy is more than likely going to do the right thing. Or rather, he's going to be better than LP and, going to be better than the PDP, APC people, because he's answerable to nobody. The only mentor he has is like a positive mentor. Alex Oti, P2B, people in his, other top lawyers, because he was a former MBA president, right? So maybe Olisa Abakaba or something like that. He will have ears to bankers and lawyers and top influential people that will give him positive advice. He won't be so much into the dirty politics of APC, PDP. So for me, I already see that as a win. But when it comes to politics in Nigeria, we don't look at the bigger picture. Everybody just kind of like goes back to their tent, their tribal tent, their clan tent, instead of looking for the good of everybody. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I understand somebody that is on the fence about the issue. I mean, it's still early to call it anyways. Election is when? August, November, something like that. Sometime. September, right? So there's still time. So I don't even know why people are making this like big time. There's still time. If somebody says they're on the fence about the issue and they don't know what Olumide Apata is going to do or what his intentions are, there's still time to hear him out. From what I'm hearing, he's prepared to take on the challenge, talk to the people, try and get them on his side. With this whole zoning thing hanging on his head, he might even want to overcompensate, because he might even want to do everything to make sure that, Edo Central people, will be, accounted for in his governance. So maybe key positions, maybe even deputy or something,
Right. No, I agree with you, Kenny. And for me, that's why, because I know that there's some people that are also looking at me and waiting to see what I want. So I have to be very careful. So for me personally, like I said earlier, I want someone's going to work for Edo State. You understand? I know and I'm aware of the sentiments of Edo Central. I am aware of that. You understand? I
Mm.
know that the people on ground, because I have family, extended family on ground, and I know how they feel. You understand? And what I try to explain to them is, but PDP, this party has promised and failed all of you. You can't even go from one place to the other. Your farms, you can't even go. If they born you well, comot. The normal time when you dey comot before, go make you go see whether you understand what I'm saying. I have made all those arguments, right? Now, what the good thing is, and this is why when I had the opportunity to be on spaces, I kept shouting that Olumide should make his way to talk directly to the people and answer questions, especially about this zoning. It's not going to go away. That's just the truth. It is not good unless he comes and he addresses, and he has to be careful in the way he addresses it too. And the people that have been running for him, his mouthpiece, they have not been doing a good job. I'm sorry. They have been they have been disrespectful and disregarding the concerns of Edo Central people. You cannot ignore that, you know. So he has to come and say, okay, I hear you people, I see what's going on, and this is what I'm going to do. Yes, we're working on this. You understand? You have to make the people feel good, because okay, whatever he says is what people that are not able to get on social media, the people who have heard it will go back, take that message with them, and go and try to convince the people. Without that, you haven't spoken to the people. When you ask questions, they tell you, oh, he has done interviews here, he has done. Is there NEPA? Do people have lights and enough data to be watching somebody on the news? It's not there now. I mean, I'm not on the ground, I'm not going to vote, right? So that's part of my own argument. And I was standing, I was waiting because I want him, which I kept reiterating on spaces, to come and speak to the people. Until he does that, I don't know yet. I'm looking, I'm taking a back seat, and I meant it, right? So until he comes and he says, this is what I'm going to do, this is what, and it's true, you are right, Kenny, because the fact that people are screaming out about this Edo Central issue and other issues of concern is going to make him overcompensate. I see that happening. If his heart is in the right place, if his heart is with the people. But how do you know if the person's heart is with the people? Is by them coming to talk and they are in their responses to you. It's not just their words that they are speaking. There's some that it's just like when you were listening, when I was listening to Peter Obi, he was saying a lot of things that people thought were lofty. But to me, I knew from my heart that this man means to do good, just like Alex Oti. Alex Oti is an individual. He was in PDP, they read him out. He was in ABGA, they read him out. If he was in those parties and he won, he would have still done what he's doing right now.
Exactly, 100%. That's who
Because
he
he
is.
has the heart for the people. That's the point. So there are people who have this understanding and are saying AI has a heart for the people, and he will work to ensure that the people get what they deserve. There's that argument as well, which we cannot ignore. You know what I mean? But for me, the reason why I would prefer a Labour Party, for instance, even though it's my own people that are being disenfranchised, and I'm willing to overlook that for the sake of the good of everyone, right? Is the accountability aspect of it. The access, as in, you can just do a tweet and just call him out, right? You can drag him. You can't do that with these PDP APC people. You can't. With all the terrible things that they're doing in other states, do you see that is affecting them? It's not, because they have a price to pay to their godfathers. That's the
That's the
only
thing.
yeah, that's the
Accountability for them. Sorry, accountability for them is first and foremost the Godfather.
exactly.
That's number one. Look at Fubara in Rivers, right?
Aha.
Look at what he and Wike has been dragging. Like now, it's like we are not hearing anything, but we are not hearing anything because he's probably dancing to Wike's tune. That's why there's peace.
Exactly.
That's why there's peace.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. You understand? So that's the only part where I'm like, I can hold this guy by the jugular. I can call him out. If an area is not functioning the way, I can send a tweet and say, guy, we voted for you. Oh. You better take a look at this. You understand what I'm saying? But we can't do that with other that is the only part that I am worried about. And tomorrow, him coming on that platform is huge. He needs to come and oh my God. I mean, I heard his speech today, and thank you, Kenny. I saw you there. The guy that came to talk, I really liked his.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He's been there from day one, and
Exactly.
he can tell. He can tell from his. Comments that PDP is not moving him. No matter what PDP does, they are not moving him.
Exactly.
Ever, because he's seen them from Ibinedi, or even before. He said before Ibinedi time himself.
Exactly.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's seen them. He knows what they can do, and he knows exactly that they can't do anything. And
exactly.
that's why there's nothing that they can promise him right now that he's able to believe them.
Exactly.
Because they play dirty, and they play plug and play in the terms of, like, if you finish, you put your own person. If you finish, you put your own person. So it's exactly what it is. The problem we have with Labour Party is that there are two sets of people that enter Labour Party. There are people that want to do good, and the only professionals that want to do good, mainly, because professionals are non-politicians. Let's put it that way. Non-politicians that want to do good, that want to enter politics to do good. Their best entry point, since Obi entered Labour, is to enter Labour.
Right.
There are also people that want to sneak into power for their own selfish benefit, and they also see Labour as shortcut to that goal. The problem we have is, we don't have a sieve. This Akamo, this pab sieve that you can use to, sieve this corn to remove the chaff from the real substance. That's what Labour is not able to do, or at least do well. And the reason for that is Abure is still the the DNA of Abure is still Nigerian politics. I know people are saying, "Oh, if Obi is in Labour, why is he not cleaning up Labour?" Obi just got into Labour. He cannot clean up Labour, because Obi is a candidate. Aburi and them is like on the organizational part. It's different. It's not like and that's how it should be anyways. It's not like APC or PDP, where the main person the main person there for the party is the one that has all the money and bought everybody, so he can now go and put his own person as the head of the party and things like that. And that way he can run everything on the party. No, that's not the way that's not the way it should be. There's the organizational part, and there's the administrative part, and there's the operational part. Obi is in the operational part, where the candidate goes, all he knows that you give him itinerary. I have to be here, 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 here. He opens the door, there's a car waiting outside, he enters the car and goes. That somebody bought the car or rented or leased the car to bring it there, fuel it and everything, that's not his business. That's the Labour Party's office business, to make sure that everything is in place for him, right? So unfortunately, Abure hasn't been. I know there's so many accusations on the guy, and I believe that he's not pure. Let's put it that way, But he's not the worst of all of them. He's not the worst of. You can't compare him with APC or PDP people, but at the same time, he's not pure. But LP is still the best scenario right now.
Right.
There's no in some situations there are no good guys. Countries go to war, and a lot of times there are no good guys in a war. So you just have to pick the lesser of the evil, and that's the way I look at it with regards to like Labour Party. But the thing is, obedience in Edo have put so much pressure on themselves because they see Edo as headquarters of
Exactly.
headquarters of obedience. So this thing is like do or die for them. They cannot phantom. They cannot see themselves losing
Exactly.
losing the election in Edo. So this thing will be war.
Yes.
This thing will be war.
It was going to be war. You two hear when Osaratin was talking, you could tell. You see where he was saying that, look, it's not it's not saying like like past election, no. Like they are ready.
Yeah.
Anybody that goes, go. Hey God, I beg.
They have to be very, very ready because as far as I'm concerned, personally, the way I look at it, and I doubt this was after I went to your to the spaces that you organized.
Right.
And while I was leaving, my conclusion is PDP and APC have done nothing in Edo. So it's not like they can exactly. It's not it's not like they can tell you, okay, this is what we've done in the past. Vote for us today. Their only chance of winning this election is rigging. That's the only thing they have.
Right.
And the fact that they're incumbent, they are there with control of all the machinery of the state, right? That's all they have. So LP and the obedience should be ready for that. They should be able to like make sure that this whole election is not rigged. Whenever the results come out, they should track everything to the doorstep of the elections officer, zonal officer, whoever it is. Make sure that the right result is called, because that's the only chance PDP people have to win this thing. I mean, Edo people have been complaining about Obaseki since the first time. Everybody voted him. Everybody wanted him there. Everybody was excited to vote him in. Then it didn't take them, it didn't take up to like 3 years for them to realize, okay, they had the wrong person there. So they've been complaining for more than 4 years. And you mean to tell me that somebody's gonna stand in line for PDP in September? It doesn't make sense. So, but
that's why
we'll see.
It's a lot of work, and there are people to win over, which is a fact. That one is a fact. There's a lot, because people are still hanging on to this, those central thing. The sentiments are high and all of that. But at the same time, I feel, because the truth is, Edo people, Esan Central people, Edo Central, they are usually agreeable. All they need to do is approach this with wisdom. I tell you, it will not be as difficult as we're saying it right now. The problem is that they are not handling it correctly. The way they are handling it, they are disregarding those central people. They are disrespecting them, and they're coming up, those numbers that they brought up on Twitter that I was saying. Among those numbers that they claim Edo South is the biggest, there are multiple ethnicities in Edo, in Benin. So you have Esan people in Benin, you have Yoruba people in Benin, you have what's it called, Igbo people in Benin. You have so many different ethnicities within Benin. So even that figure that they came up with is not quite accurate. And who did the count, So, I mean, that's aside. That's not even relevant, because at the end of the day, it's for the greater good we should be considering. My own thing is, I hope, and I did let this guy know, they need to be very careful when they're approaching those issues. They need to apply wisdom. You cannot disregard, because I remember at the first space I heard about this, I asked the Edo South people, I was like, if it was you and the reverse was this, what would you do? What did they say? They said they were going to that Edo State to be burning right now. And it's true. They won't take it. You see, that's the thing. That's what is annoying some people. But instead of them to approach it from a place of we see you, we understand, that's true, you're right, and whatever, what can we do? Meet the elders. We have onojs. We have onojs. Meet them. Find somebody that's going to talk and intervene and calm people's nerves and explain to them in a way they will understand. They are not doing that. They're huffing and puffing like I'm better than you, I'm more than. No, no, that's not the approach. Everybody is important. Every vote counts. Every vote is important. Nobody is too small. So the approach is the problem, and I hope that they get it right. I hope that when Olumide Akpata comes tomorrow, he really, really says what will hit the heart of the people, that will make them see the big picture. That's my hope, to be honest. Hey, Obaro, welcome. Oh my God, good to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to have you here. Yeah, they are, because yes, they are pushing out a lot of narrative. Exactly. So if the people, this is why there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and this is why Olumi this coming tomorrow is so crucial. And the way he responds and talks about this Edo Central issue is very important. It's very, very important. If the way is the people that are supporting him has been disregarding and being unempathetic towards it and disrespecting, I don't know, man. I'm not on ground, so I don't know how it's going to play out. You might be huffing and puffing and thinking that, yeah, I got it. They work like that. You got to be careful. So I'm hoping that whoever is around him tells him, especially when he's responding to that, he needs to be very careful. I'm not saying anything that one person is powerful than the other. That's not the point here. There's no competition at all. It's for the greater good, but how you win the people over is very important. It matters. you know so that's my take on this Edo politics thing. At least that's the rounder. That's the long and short of it. Mm, yeah. Oh, Kene, we lost Kene. So that's what I think. But I pray. I really want Edo to get it right, because honestly, it will pain me. Obaro, how now? Welcome. So good to have you.
Hi, Omoye. Good evening.
Good
From
evening.
how you doing now? How's work? How's everything going?
Everything is good. How are you? How's work for you?
I'm I'm good. Everything's good. We bless God. So,
Awesome.
Moya, I have a problem with this zoning thing. Oh,
Mhm.
I really do. No,
Yeah,
but let's be honest now, Moye. We
course.
live in the abroad. What the states where you did they zone anything?
Not be
Let
me
make the
na
country
na me
they
na
well.
me wan vote. They ask me the question like say na me wan go vote, and na me carry the thing for belle. Na me carry am for chest.
It doesn't
Me
mean
not
our
say na
people need
foreign land I dey now. If they not give me the opportunities when I get there, I go get am. No be you
our
you know
people.
e be like say when we move from for Nigeria, we dey forget how they take dey think for ground. I think that's the problem. That's the disconnect. The people for
Yeah.
ground no dey think the way we dey think. Number one, it requires somebody to break it down to them in a way that they will understand. To them, they have been deprived for 24 years. They've not had it. Think about that. Think like a local person in the village. If you know how a local person in the village, remember
I
these people
know,
don't have
but
lights, they
I
don't have
know.
access to use. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have the kind of
Mm,
understanding or exposure that we will have, that you and I can have an argument. Let's say we are on different sides of the polity and you are trying to win me.
yeah.
There's certain things you will tell me and I'll just get it. I'm not even going to argue with you. As long as it's going to also work out for me, I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm,
I'll say, okay, you know what? Yeah. Because
mm-hmm.
you cannot disregard it. You can't say, oh, this zoning thing. No, you can't. Because it's what has
But
been
is it going
in
to help
play.
the state more? Yeah, let's be. Is this only thing? Yes, we cannot take it off the table.
Mm.
It's like my state now, Delta State, say me that they do zoning. You don't know how many tribe they Delta State. How
And they
won't
do
begin?
zoning for Delta State, you don't know. Una they do zoning. Una
Nine,
get
so why
senatorial
is Sokoma never be governor for Delta if the zoning they work?
maybe the so-called man they lump and mom with another group. You don't know because you know us even for
Oh
within
my
Esan
god.
speaking tribe, right? People
Yeah.
think that like Akoko Edo
Akoko
person
Edo,
never
yes.
rule.
Those people, those Akoko Edo people, them Momodu them. People where they
Exactly.
bear Momodu, yes, yeah, those
They
people, yeah.
never rule. They there and they are smart people. They are smart as hell. Do you understand? They have the capacity to do it. All one person don't become the governor for Edo State. Now the same thing now. Now this senatorial district, they'll just lump people together, right? They will say, okay,
No, but
this one to
now
represent.
governorship, not be governorship, they bring this fracas now. Not be this governorship thing that they could now zoning. Wait, what is the big deal about zoning? Are we not why we know our people know they understand it has nothing to do with where the person come from, but a lot to do with the person's character, competence, and well
Now
meaningfulness
you
of
they think
love
like
for
that.
the people.
Oh, you go school, you come out for house, you dey abroad, breeze don't blow, better breeze don't blow. Light dey as you dey talk now, light dey. If you want television now, your television go on. Now you they think like that, them no dey think like that. If to say we dey house now, me and you fit talk
Yeah.
say, let's say me they tell you say man omo na our turn before oh. You say but omo you think am now, we'll get good road,
Mm,
we go fit go meet this man. If you not do anything we fit go hold am for neck. When be the last time when
mm-hmm.
we get access to governor, when we go fit hold for neck like this? Think am now.
Neck like this.
You
Yeah.
fit keep am from one sentence I go understand, but you cannot do
Mm-hmm.
that with somebody in the village, in the rural areas. There has to be a level of breakdown you need to give them.
But
And
how true is this Olumide not being from Edo State? Because people are saying that he's not an Edo person. How true is it?
because of the name, that's another problem that I'm hearing too. Because of his name, Olumide Apata. Olumide is a Yoruba
That
name.
name na
Apata
very
also has a
Yoruba
meaning
name.
in
Oh.
Yoruba land.
But because
But
I
Edo,
even think I thought he's from Akoko Edo. Is that where he's from, the Yoruba speak? And then
no,
Dele
no, no.
Momodu side. I
He
don't know
no,
where
he's
he's
from
from.
Benin. No, you have to understand. Edo people sometimes they bear
Oh,
Yoruba names. You get
Yoruba
some
name. I
Edo.
know. Now, I have a
Yeah.
friend, Bosse. Now, her name
So
na
he
Bosse, but she
name
be Edo girl.
Yeah, im
Yeah.
name na Olumide Osaigbovo. Na im be Benin name. Me, I wish say
Oh,
you use that Osaigbovo. Use
like
that one. Put am
Bobo.
for
Oh, na that
middle.
one I know.
Na im be
Edo
the
people,
thing.
they
Do you
go give
understand?
them headache.
Edo no be
Mm.
Yoruba
They might
o. Can
feel
they
his
not let
loyalty.
them hear you o? I no dey here o. I go deny you straight up. No let Edo people see you o.
They not let them hear you. Oh.
Okay
Make you they
o.
not hear you. Oh.
They don dey
They
take
take
their
it very
identity
personal.
play o. They say we near.
Yeah.
If they see this comment, you're on your own. I go just deny you straight. I'll say I don't know am o. I don't know am.
Because that
So
name, that
mm,
name, I don't know, might be, and again, people are going, the rounds are saying that he's not really a Edo, he's not be a Edo person, why Yoruba person won't come, so for that, this Aswe Godalo might just, Edo, Aswe might just sneak in and take it because of the
that
power of,
exactly
of
that go ahead.
incumbency.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, I
No,
didn't.
because of the power of incumbent. No. Wait, this Philip guy and what's it really cause the fight?
I
Go.
don't know
Because
about that one. No ask me that one. Anything about I don't even know that person like Philip Davis.
I don't know. I don't understand what it really. What it really cause their fight? Wey be say the guy not just one user I see am.
I don't know. They get internal fracas now. They sabi. My own be say this election, right? We must make sure
Mm.
say e do left and right. My own, the reason why me dey think of Labour Party na because we fit hold the man
Mm.
accountable and because of Alex Oti and because of Peter
I
Obi as
know. I
a we
know.
fit
I
say
just hope Edo people think I'm like that. Say, okay, Alex Uti is not the yardstick, right? He's the one that, he's really started well. If we have to even, now he be the one who go say hit the ground running. I hope they will see it that way. But the problem I dey hear say they say the guy not be a do guy. That's the thing. They say he's a Yoruba guy. There's that. Don't know how
Why,
true this
why,
is.
why
That.
are we, why are we, sorry to
go
butt in.
ahead. See the for he see don come our lecturer abeg professor Make way for Professor. Welcome. Oh, greetings.
Don't do that. Yeah, greetings. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Why
Good
is it why is it that we are getting sucked into all these narratives of because now you said something. My sister said, so why do we do this? Why is this zoning and all that? But we are still the same people in the same breath saying is Akpata and Edoman. The truth that is
I'm
there's
just
something
saying
in our
that
constitution
we
we
are,
don't read.
I,
Wait, there's
no,
something
I'm
in our
saying from the
constitution that
perspective
is
that
very
they may
silent.
work against him. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
in
Well,
support of
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
I'm saying
But the truth is
what
that
may work
he,
against him. Piggyback what Omoye said about
yeah,
the people
but
not being
is the
sensitized
same
enough to
problem.
say
Yeah,
it's
but
not
the same
about where
problem
he's
that
from. It's about the competency. Yeah,
yeah, he's whether we
that's
like
also
it
what
or
I'm
not,
thinking back on.
he's
Yeah.
an Edo man, all right. And the truth is this: if somebody has some parentage around him from a particular state, that confirms him from that state. Number two, if somebody
Yeah,
normally
I
in the
agree with
constitution,
you. I agree with you.
in the constitution, if for instance an Igbo man, all right, has stayed in or whatever state nationality has stayed in Edo for more than 10 years, he has constitutional right to
Yeah,
contest for election. Actually, he has.
yeah.
It just it's just that we don't see that happening. But constitutionally,
Mm.
he can contest for an election. That is how our constitution is. But the problem is that because we are wired with these sentiments of it's not from my place, it's from my place. This will cause problem for somebody like um the Lagos guy. What's his name?
GRV. Yeah.
GRV.
Yes,
All right.
GRV. Yeah.
His mom is Igbo, his father is
Igbo.
Yoruba,
Yeah.
and then he also
Mhm,
married an Igbo girl. So basically, he's Omo
mhm.
Igbo. But that is very annoying
Mhm.
because his
That's,
parentage, the history of his parentage, most of the founding fathers of Lagos. All right, so that's very very strange that people keep doing that. But I understand Nigerian politics. All right, Nigerian politics cannot overnight suddenly become European politics where it's all about competence. That's the same thing that made people not believe in Peter Obi. That's the same thing that made
yeah.
people, oh, we don't want to vote Peter Obi, we don't want to vote an Igbo man, blah 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 blah. Now
Mhm.
people are not thinking about it anymore because the hunger is biting in the land. So Edo, same
Unfortunately,
thing
yeah.
is the same thing that affected Alex Oti for a long time. Alex Oti comes from, I think, in Ungwa or something. So most times it was not. Sometimes it was not zoned to his place, but yet he was contesting. Do you get me? The competent man was
Mm.
contesting, but because Alex Oti is not from the zone, so elections were going against him all the time. But now,
Mm, I didn't know
do the
that.
Aba people care? The Aba people don't care. If Alex Oti comes or somebody similar to Alex Oti, you see, it takes good leadership to start changing the narrative. That's where I'm going to. That it will take good leadership to change the narrative. Now, the options for
Yeah.
Edo are very clear. All right. You have Aswe, and then you have
And I
Apapem.
swear, they're actually very good.
Yeah, so
I mean,
that's
on
why I
paper,
said the last time. That's why I
you
said the
know,
last time. On
they are good.
paper,
Though I don't know, it's gonna be
anywhere Edo
finished.
goes, whether they go to Labour or they finally go to PDP, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
based on
They
paper
will,
that they will miss it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
it's like a
for
very
sure. They
like
really
it's
have
like
good
you have got a
candidates
good
coming
you
out.
have got
Yeah,
two good options. It's just
yeah.
about preferences now. Okay, what looks better, like what Ome said. How will the central people feel, that they are included in governance? And I
But
think that was the main.
that's where from the central part, the zoning part that they want.
Yeah,
Is
yes,
that where?
yes, yes, yes. And
Oh
that was the
wow.
major problem between the governor and his deputy. The deputy governor Shaobu
Oh,
once had had
yeah.
has ambitions to be governor, but this man, what's his name, Obaseki, felt that no, I need to zone this thing. We need to consider other people. Like before Obaseki, there was what's his name, Um, there was this guy, what's his name? This man from the other side, the APC man. He's now in the Senate. This Labour
Oshomole.
man, Oshomole. So we had Oshomole, who is from Shaobu's place. All right. Then after
Oh
Oshomole,
wow.
we now went to Obaseki. So Obaseki feels that let it rotate to the central to keep the peace. So sometimes those are political decisions or gentleman understanding. It's just like in Nigeria, the issue of the Muslim ticket is a very touchy issue because it means that you are not considerate. It's not that so politics is not only about, that's what I'm saying, even globally, politics is not only about competence, character, but you have to also include other little factors to keep the peace. You understand? You have to include other little factors. If you see America now, small, they denied a woman a political ticket. Or all right, I mean, they finally got a woman. The Democrats got a woman, Clinton, to get a political ticket, but she didn't win it. But somehow they finally put a woman as vice president of America. You get me? Just to
Ah,
pacify the women votes.
no,
So
I
wait,
disagree.
wait. Eh?
I disagree with you. American politics is not because of that.
No. Let me tell you, you can't. There's nowhere in the world where
Mm.
there are no political sentiments. There are political
Yeah,
sentiments.
that I agree, but not
So
don't
so
compare Nigerian
so
politics.
so so they tapped into the narrative. I've read, I've studied, I've followed this American politics they call. They tapped into the narrative that most American working mothers and women did not like the brashness of the Trump administration and the Trump narrative. They feel that Trump doesn't care about like decency, you know. So, and immediately Trump became president. If you look at when Trump became president, there was a movement that was powered by women politically. And during the midterms, you saw that a lot of women came into the Senate. They powered it because they were not, there was that group of angry women that don't like the way Trump runs his things. So, so what happens naturally is that a party looks at those things and say, how can we tap into that narrative and build a coalition against it? Because it's all about numbers. It's all about numbers. So sometimes we may not accept it, we may not agree on it, but politics is about sentiments, politics is about tapping into something. And picking back from there to the Edo thing is Oshomole had already ruled. So Shaubu wanted a piece of the cake. He felt maybe it's his turn and he's very close to it as deputy governor. So you know what? I have a go at this. However, the governor feels no, I think we should create the sentiment of the central, and then we'll pick somebody from the other major tribe, and then we'll get a ticket. And that was what formed the problem early on, because governor has already given his body language, and so that fight started. And even till now, the guy doesn't want to step down, and the guy doesn't want to stop his agitations, and he's going to court and all that, trying to create more problems for him. So it depends on how Akpata will play. So it depends on how Akpata and Asue will play with whoever they pick as deputy governors. Those things will now factor in. So there's always sentiment about these things. But Nigeria cannot grow ahead of it until we have credible leaders that will now do the best for the people, and then the people will now start not caring about where somebody comes from, whether central, based on the senatorial district, central, east, or west. They won't care about that, because all they will care about is, can this person deliver? Like now in Aba, if you call them, they are not thinking about central and all that. They know that they have a man that can deliver. In the next election, whoever that man backs, they will back him. So whoever Oti says, this person, after my 8 years, this person can continue. He's top notch. He knows what to do. Do you think about people will start thinking of center? No, they will trust this man because the man that is talking to them is someone that has delivered. So it takes good leadership to start seeing that narrative and mindset change, in my opinion. But for now, it is very difficult. So what they do is that they walk around it, and I think that's what Edo governor has done. Who is a competent person? I pick, and then that person also ticks the box of the sentiment. It must be competence, and then you tick the box of sentiment. Just like in the national election, we had competent person, Igbo person, and all that, but you also wanted to tick the box of sentiment, which is here the Igbos have never been given power, and power has to come to the south, and that's why people were angry with Atiku. Power is supposed to rotate to the south. So why is Atiku contesting? So Atiku is trying to say, no, everybody can contest for power, which is true, but you are not dealing with the sentiment. Agbado came and picked his own and said he must get a Muslim ticket, that it doesn't matter, it's about competence. Then people got angry. Oh, you don't have competent Christian Northerner? So people also have those sentiments, which when you are running, when you have to, politics is all about all that, not just competent, but you have to add the sentimental part, that soft part that people vote. So some people in America vote for somebody because, oh, I like the guy, I like the way he is, I like the way he talks. Some people just vote like that, not because of anything, not any economy or anything, just like his vibe. So those things you cannot remove them from politics. I think that's my take on that. But Edo has a good chance. So there's no, whether they go left or right, I think they'll be okay. In my
My
opinion.
brother, you have spoken well, but we are very, very far, far, far from getting Nigeria better, honestly speaking. That's why I'm no longer interested in Nigerian politics. Look at what we are sitting down here talking about in the same one state.
My
In one
my sister,
state.
my sister, if you are, I beg to disagree. You are interested in Nigerian politics. If not, you will not be here talking.
No, 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 no. What I'm saying, I'm not interested anymore. I used to be, as for more, I used to be well involved, but I'm not. It's just
Yeah,
because that's why I came. But what I'm trying to say is this: we are talking about we have problem as in Nigeria, one country, and we are fighting each other, east, west, north, and south. And inside a state, one state, now we started talking about east, west, north, central, south, and nonsense. Just one country. How can we even move this country forward? If
my dear sister, this sentiment, these things happen everywhere in the world.
My brother, we are very far. Good night, guys. We are not going nowhere. We're gonna see where this is gonna take us to. Good night.
Good night. If you go to anywhere in the world,
thank you very much.
whether you go to America, whether you go to the UK, whether you go to, power is contested. All right, people contest for power, and everyone. You know, when I hear old people say, "Oh, I'm not interested in this politics. I'm tired," but you still keep coming to talk about it. We are all interested. We are invested because we come from the place. You get me? We may not have the same 100% go that have, but something in us is still pulling us to say, I wish this can be better. And the only way we can get better is we keep talking about it. If you go back 10 years ago, even during the time of good luck, there was no much talking. You get me? But the times of Twitter, YouTube has made people more knowledgeable. We are now getting to talk about this. Okay, before, will somebody like Akpata come and say he's doing a stream for us and talking to Nigerians? They won't do it. They won't do it. But we see that Peter Obi has changed the landscape. He has changed the way you communicate. That he can have a stream session with Nigerians, asking questions without any filtering. Just ask me and I'll answer. So politicians are now seeing that, oh, look, we need to start stepping up to engage with Nigeria. But it was not like that a few years ago. All they need to do, bring money, share for some boys, and move the election where they want to do it. So, but things will gradually change. And there's nowhere in the world, like I repeat, that you don't see people bring up their sentiments. Even in that America, some people that prefer this against this. Some people prefer this against this. There's still racism. There are some people that don't want women to rule. There are some people that don't want blacks to rule or Hispanics to rule. So we have all those demographics. In different states, you see Hispanics are stronger than this. Some places, there's a particular county in the US that you see that that's a very strong Muslim county, and they have Muslim senators, you get it, or congresswomen. All right, so you see sentiment playing in those climes. It's just that their media doesn't show it so often, and it's not as crass as our own, but it's the same thing that is happening. All right, that's how I see it. It's about power, but we as a people can keep refining and refining those sentiments. We all have sentiments. You get me? There's no way you will not have sentiment. If like in Edo State, you have somebody that is in from the central, he will feel, oh, every time it's just Edo East and Edo West, or I don't know how
Edo,
it's done.
Edo Central, Edo North, Edo South.
So they will say, oh, it's only Edo North and Edo South. So Oshomole did one, then it comes to Edo South, Obaseki. Then even in that Edo South, okay, it's just Bini, it's just up and down. Then the people in the middle part will say, when will we ever be considered? So it takes a leader that will go out of the box. Even in Delta State, it's very hard if you say, oh, it's just because Delta State has the Delta East, which is, I think, is the Delta Igbo. And then you have Central, and you have the Isoko, and then you have the other aspect of Delta State, the Warri side. So it took a leader to say, you know what, let Ifeanyi Okowa rule, so that it makes the sentiment of inclusiveness. So that is what is also missing. And if you look at when they did the national conference, it was also one of the things that they proposed, because they Abacha proposed rotational presidency, and it is our form of democracy. If they have adopted it, it becomes our unique form of democracy. Maybe that will create a sort of peace and a sort of clear arrangement. So, okay, rotational presidency across the 6 geopolitical zones. I think he proposed rotational presidency with, I think, maybe 4 or 3, I don't know how many vice presidents that will be picked from the 6 geopolitical zones. And if you look at that arrangement, unique to Nigeria. So you have to look at something unique to Nigeria. I was listening to a YouTube from the El Salvador president. The El Salvador president was talking to a BBC reporter and said, "You guys always want us to do what you want, how you want to do it. Oh, if we do this method, it's not the way we should do it." But he said the methods I've used have been able to crack down, because El Salvador was one of the most violent, crime-infested countries in the world. But this president has been able to resolve the issue and brought crime to a very, very low rate. And instead of them to say, "Oh, congratulations, you've done well," they say, "Oh, you did not use this method. Why will you oppress people? Why will you do this?" But he's saying the crime rate has reduced. I don't tell you America what to do, but people want to dictate to us what to do. Nigeria has proposed, there are proposals in currently in our constitutional review that was done by the constitutional conference, that we should have rotational presidency. Even Peter Obi has also proposed that, and Peter Obi has proposed one term of 5 years And not only that, he has proposed that it should be a sort of parliamentary presidential system, a hybrid. All right. So these are people proposing things that will work in our unique situation, knowing fully well that we have different people groups, and every people group wants a taste of power to feel among, to feel belong, to feel that they are part of the concept Nigeria. So we need to start thinking about those sentimental values. And I think that is what the Obaseki thought about and say, look, deputy governor, you can't contest. Why? Because the last person that contested came from your hometown. Unfortunately, you've already got to the second position. Maybe he would have offered him go to the Senate, go to the, but if he goes to the Senate, he's going to contest against Oshumele. So it's going to be very hard for him to go to Senate. Maybe he'll go and do House of Rep. But he was already coming from House of Rep. You see? So the man has ambitions. And he feels, you are my organa, give me this thing. But this guy is looking at the big picture. We need to consider that. And that's why people were very skeptical with the Labour Party choice. The Labour Party choice was, I don't blame the Labour Party choice in terms of Akpata, because when you are contesting in an election, you need name. You need somebody that has name, and you need somebody that has competence. Maybe the Labour Party has looked and said, we don't have somebody that can root from the central that has name and backing that can really contest against Asue. So you have to look at those kind of things. And so the Labour Party will say, you know what, Akpata is known and he comes from a very strong group. It comes from a very strong people group in Edo State. All right. He's part of the Bini people. And when push comes to shove, the Bini person may look at it and say, oh, it's our brother that is there. Oh, and it's our brother that is there. Let's just vote him again. It's still our brother. Let's just keep it. So that sentiment we play. They believe that that sentiment we play, but he's also a competent individual. All right. So, like I always said, wherever Edo goes to, I think they will be okay based on paper, because some of these intelligent eggheads, just like yesterday I talked about Soludo, they can go there and start giving us the Soludo style. So we don't want that. We want them to go there and look at OT and do same, whether it is from PD. I don't care about party, whether it's from PDP or LP, because I think two of them are okay. If any of them get there, people don't care about central, east, or west. What the Edo people want is give us good governance, period. As soon as somebody starts giving good governance, I'm telling you, nobody would care about whether his mother is Benin or is not Benin. Nobody would think about that. They will just say, oh, you don't they repair road, oh, this man don't put light or like OT. Oh, that's what people want. So irrespective of how we feel and everything, by the time people start doing it, and it's not oh, he's just doing it for South. He does it for all the senatorial districts. Like now, you can't see about people say, oh, he's just doing it for one people. No, it's for the whole of Abia State. It's for the whole of, because you are an Abia person. It's for the whole of Edo. It's not, oh, I'll just consider only central people. I'll just consider. No, you consider the whole people. And that's why Nigeria has been in this problem. Buhari came, considered only one set of people. Every other person, he didn't care. He even considered Niger people more than us. I think he told us that if there's problem, we just go to Niger. That's what the man told us. That if people cause problem like this, I'll just go over the border, I'll just go to Niger. It means he didn't care about us, you know. Then Abado has come now. He's considering his Lagos boys. So you can't do that. You can't do like that. You have to bring everybody together. Everybody must have a sense of belonging. That's what I think. And hopefully Edo will get it right. Hopefully, because it's a state that for a very long time, unfortunately, for a very long time, since 1999, Edo has not got it right. Edo has not got it right. I mean, we expected a lot from Oshomole, but Oshomole was all mouth. He tried, not so much. Obaseki tried in the initial stages, but fizzled out. So, uh, so I don't know. Omoye, you are. It's from your state now, so I think you. So
Who is that?
you. I mean, we're talking about your state now.
Now. Now
So
for
I'm
my
just saying.
state.
I'm just saying that if you observe, Edo has not always got it right. It's been
Yes.
one poor leadership after another, and so I mean we had so much expectation of Oshomole, but he disappointed too. And then even this Obaseki tried, but after some time disappointing. And then I don't know how they are managing with the court issues, because also the court issue in Edo is also another big thing. So hopefully they will get it right. We saw what happened. I think Ibinedion was governor of Edo.
Yeah, he
The
was.
uh,
Yeah, he
the
was. He
Millennium
didn't do.
family messed up the whole place.
Yeah.
Stamped up the whole place. They didn't do anything. You know, he didn't even he didn't even repair roads around his area. Sef. Oh my God, Obasanjo was so annoyed with that guy. That's why they refused. They didn't want him to. They didn't want him to contest for second tenure. It was so bad. It was so bad. Lucky Benedict was so bad. So bad. Kai. It was so bad that Obasanjo and Atiku, they were really mad. They were like, no, this guy cannot, they can't give him ticket. But his father said, you know what his father said? His father said, if a child, if
I
a
know
child,
if he does. Oh God, when you said, was it you that said? Maybe it was you that said it. I say, can you imagine?
if a child goes to school and fails, you tell him to repeat. But it's true now. That's the logic. So
Hi.
since he has paid, let him go and repeat another 4 years and collect the last money. So you see, Nigerians now at that point, is it not from a Benin family? Is it not answering the Benin name? So all those things don't matter. All right, they don't matter if you have right government, right governance. It doesn't matter. So I pray that Edo gets it because it's very important.
It's very
Oh,
important too. I
look
mean,
at what
tomorrow
Abua is saying.
Olumide is coming anyway, so
Obaseki
I'm
and
gonna stream it here. Um,
Obaseki and Lucky Benedict are on the same level of government at this point.
yeah,
I,
so
I, I can't I don't even know what Obaseki has done. I mean in the first 3 years.
some of his supporters, they say he did this at pension. They don't need to. It's online. You just
Yeah,
click.
I
Civil
think
service
in the
towards,
beginning they used to call him
and
Rise
if
and
you
Shine.
buy land, something about CFO or C. I don't
Okay.
know, Johnny.
They used to call him Rise and Shine. You wake up, he's doing project. He's wake up, he's doing project. That's what he rode on for his second tenure, and he felt that he didn't want the godfatherism of Oshomole. All right, so he broke out from Oshomole's godfatherism. However, I don't think that's my challenge with some of these technocrats. I mean, OT is showing us a different level. Every day I wake up, OT is just giving us one boza every day. And I'm saying, God help this man. Let them not truncate his movement because I think he's on a path to really develop the state. He's there's so many. He has already started dredging. He has already started dredging for the seaport. You begin to look like he's not waiting. It's like somebody that's in a hurry. He's not waiting. He's not waiting. These 8 months, you start working on seaport, you're working on train, you're working on this, you're putting roads here. There's one major thing I heard him said he's doing already. I said, what? 8 months? You already figured this out and you already started. So it tells you that these things can be done simultaneously and with clear head. So hopefully, you know, hopefully, I swear I think it's a banker or something. I don't know, business guy. So hopefully he will get it. Uh, Itwa is his brother, so hopefully Itwa always talks about good governance and all that. So hopefully his brother will be able to uh, tell him, look, we need to get Edo right, and that's where I get my assurances from that. He has a brother called Itwa Igadalo. Itwa can uh, give him better, at least give him that support of, look, we need to get this right. We cannot, because Itwa is always talking. Itwa is a pastor, and he's always, talking about good governance and how things need to be done. Now it's your brother. He's a consummate professional, King's College boy, Apata King's College boy. They have got good degrees on their head. So anywhere Edo goes in those two, they should get it. The last time I heard Akpata, I didn't think he was conciliatory in terms of understanding the central issue. I mean, understanding the sentiments of Central and all that. So I didn't think, I think he should come across more emotionally intelligent. He should come across as not thinking that, oh yeah, I'm this. I mean, everybody should suck it up. No, he should be very conciliatory. He should see how to bring those people that are sentimentally affected with his ticket, to bring them on board, to say, look, I'm not here for South. I'm here for Edo. He needs to use the right language, the right tone. Some of our politicians don't get it. And that's why I say people should go and study Peter Obi. Peter Obi, when he has a problem with somebody or he wants to bring you to it, he will say, my brother. He said, my senior brother. Even when he's talking to Tinu, my senior brother. You say, if you want to fight, you will calm down. So you need to know how to. They need to go and listen to this man, how he talks. Even when what's it, Wole Soyinka said what he wanted to say, he went to the man. Even when Kuti did his own, he goes there. He said, my brother, my senior brother, I'm very sincerely sorry. That's how he talks. And then he tries to convince you to his own point of view. They should go and learn from that man. So Akpata should not come and be using lawyer tone. If you use lawyer tone, you get the people really offended. And you cannot underestimate the sentimental pool of individual nationalism. You cannot remove it. So he should calm down, talk with people, tell them that, oh, I'm here for Edo. I want to bring this. He should tap into the same narrative that Peter Obi always said. He said, bread is not cheaper for the North or cheaper for anybody. It will still, the same bread is still costly. Anywhere you see cheap bread, it's not about whether you're Muslim, Christian, or anything. You will buy it now. Is everybody not facing it now? Everybody's seeing it now. So he needs to use a tone that people can really understand. If he stays in that high tone, he will realize on election day that people will use sentiment. There's a political power from the Obaseki move, and then he will narrowly win. He will narrowly lose. I see it is going to be neck and neck. I don't think it's going to be a very easy election. I mean, landslide in terms of that. It's going to be neck and neck. Whoever they pick as deputy governors will be very, very important and instrumental to how they operate. So their deputy governor picks are very critical picks. Then depending on who swing, but wherever it swings to, I think Edo should get it right. So that's very important. Like if Nigeria had got Professor, what's his name, Prof. Buhari's the vice president. Um, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. Former vice president. So if APC had that person and Labour Party had Obi, and finally Prof became president, will understand it. Will understand it. I think people will not have been so angry. Would have said, okay, anytime Buhari went for sick leave, Prof took over. He organized things well. So I think he can do it. But that's why the blow was very, very harsh on Nigerians, and it's still harsh. Yeah. Ray, Ogari, relax. We have more churches in Nigeria than supers are making the populace. I know, but I know there's always this crowd on the pastors and everything, but sometimes we don't see some hidden works that they do. You know, life is emotional too. There's still the emotional part of life. If not, people will go crazy. It's not in the role of pastors to create industries. It's in the role of government. The role of government to work with the public sector and private sector to create opportunities and businesses. Even in America too, they have massive churches. They have a lot of churches. All right. So I think sometimes we say, oh, it's the churches are causing problem, I'm not saying the churches don't have their own issues, all right, Ray, but we cannot excuse government from doing what government should do. Abia State now, don't they have churches there? They have a lot of churches in Abia. But we are not looking at that. Governor, do your job. That's all. Governor, do your job. If governor is doing his job and creating wealth, people will not talk about churches. Churches will do whatever they want to do. Mosque will do whatever they want to do. You get me? Religion is there. It is there in every nation. But the problem is that because we're seeing a lot of churches and less industries, we now blame. I don't understand that mindset. We now not blame the churches. No, the blame is not for the churches. The blame is for the people that are in government to create wealth. That's the blame. Leave churches do many things, many humanitarian things. That's the truth. It's just that most times it's not documented. The churches do many, many humanitarian things. They need to do more. Yes, they need to do more. But creating opportunity for industries is what OT is doing. You create light, you create power, you create different things, businesses will start. That's just it. In the East, we have churches, we have big cathedrals, we have all those things. But it's about creating industries, and government must do what government needs to do. Pastors and politicians are flying private jet. Where does miracle come in? Okay. Pastors and politicians, people can have private jet. It's their own personal choices. They have the funds for it. All I say is let government do what they need to do in terms of regulation. The truth is that if you bring some form of regulation to religious organizations, which Nigeria doesn't do, Nigeria has it, but doesn't implement it because these religious brokers are very, very powerful. And I'm not only talking about the Christian, I'm also talking about the Muslim, all right, the mosque and the churches, and even traditional rulers and traditional, worshippers. If government introduces policy for these charities to submit their end of financial year reports regularly to government offices for them to be checked, you see a lot of issues. It's because that is not happening. So there's no accountability of any kind. And then you see frivolities of pastors, of Christian leaders or spiritual leaders, Muslim leaders, and all that, clerics. So, but if there's proper accountability system in place that yearly they upload or they send their financials and what they do in terms of charity to the government, then the government can be able to say, oh, wait a minute, your books are not adding up. Wait a minute, you have about 7 private jets. How are you funding it? What are you using? Because these donations by people are supposed to be used for the people because you are known for profit. So we need to do a lot of tinkering around this. But you see, this subject is very touchy because as soon as you bring it, you know what will happen? Like I'm saying it now, people will say, "Oh, this person doesn't like Christians. Oh, yeah," they start praying all sorts of prayer, touch man, not my anointed, and all that. The Muslims will get angry around. Why do you want to check what we are having in our mosque? All these kind of things. But the truth is that it's not to check you, it's just to create a form of responsibility so that the right things are done. So that, yes, you can have a private jet, but you may not have like two or three. So these are the things. Politicians too, they are not, there's nothing accountable. That's why a politician, they can put 100 and how many bulletproof uh, Land Cruisers they all want to order for themselves. No accountability. So
Hmm.
I know.
Hey, you can't defend Nigeria and not look somehow.
I know. Defending Nigeria is it's a hard thing. Yeah, there must be people owning a jet without a nose of native the person. I agree with you, Victor, all the way. I agree with you. It's very hard to defend Nigeria in terms of a lot of things that Nigerian politicians and leaders do, which is quite shocking. Uh, Owning a jet without a known source of wealth. That's why we have um, that's why you have ICPC. That's why you have EFCC. That's why you have different the tax office and all that. Those things are supposed to be the parameters that sane countries use to work on it. For instance, I think during Buhari's years, there was somebody that decided to look at the structures, the governance structures of churches and everything, and there was massive backlash, massive backlash. The guy just retreated, you know, and Prof just calmed everything down. So that's because the country is emotionally tied like that. So you know what? We don't go to those areas. Religion is a big area in Nigeria. People don't go to it. We don't touch it because if you touch it, you will see can of worms. And when those things are unleashed, even the president will want it to be calm. So sometimes they just, sidetrack. That's the truth. They sidetrack because too much wahala. You don't want the Muslim people to be shouting, the Christians to be screaming. But the truth is that we have to actually give some level of accountability in these places.
That's
Yes,
true.
so much wealth without enterprise,
Mm-hmm.
and not only pastors and all those, even some people, all these SSAs, all these people, they're just wealthy. People just suddenly become very wealthy, and there's no way to defend them. But look at your president. You ask your president, how did you become wealthy? Today he give you one story, tomorrow another story, because the real source of the wealth they can't tell you, because there's a lot of if you're a politician, you suddenly become very wealthy. So what money cannot do, more money will do, and that's it. Okay, look at somebody like Tinubu. A bullion van goes into his house. What does it tell us? It tells us different multiple stories. One, that the bullion van missed their road and suddenly it just entered his house. So strange things. Normally in a same country, every bullion van is marked. Everything, they know where it's coming from, where it's going to. If a believer gets missing anywhere in any streets of London or streets of America, it can be traced. Why did it enter a private citizen's house? Who is this private citizen? How much does he have? You know, and then they can trace it. Then if he's Bill Gates, it's okay. Oh, Bill Gates, we know you now. We know you. You have money. You are one of the top richest people in the world. But even Bill Gates will not move his money like that. Or for he will not move his money like that. The way they move their money is just completely different. So, but nobody asks question, life continues. That's the Nigerian problem. We don't like people asking questions. It's part of our culture. It's very hard for children to ask their parents question. They tell you, shut up, come, close your mouth and go away. That's how we have been grown. We grew up. That's how we all grew up. If we must be honest with ourselves, we grew up in a culture that is subservient. Just keep quiet, move on. A culture of silence. All right, that's the culture. It's built like that. You don't ask your elder question. What your elder tells you is go. It's just now that the young people are now saying, no, we ask you question. And then what did the elder say? You guys are rude. This generation is rude. Why not we shut down this Twitter? Every day on Twitter, presidents say they have abused my life. Because they're asking you questions. We're asking people big questions. Want to ask Akpata questions. These are not what our culture. Our culture is your father tells you, say, okay, you move. Your uncle tells you, whether it's wrong or right, you just accept, you move. We always have this adage, what an elder sees, even whether you say you cannot see it, we say, okay, what you are saying is correct. What can we do? Please don't bring this Ukraine thing. The thing they tire us.
I'm telling you.
The Ukraine thing is an insult. It's a big insult. Can you imagine a country under war, they send us grain?
Exactly.
Oh my God. It tells you how bad it is. How can somebody so that means it's better to go to Ukraine and stay now. It's better to go to Ukraine and stay since they have food, because Ukraine is one of the highest producers of grain and exporters of grain. I think wheat or sorghum, one of them. I think wheat for bread. So if they are sending Nigeria, a war-torn country sending Nigeria, and then the president should resign. Seriously, the president should resign. But nobody should talk. Those governors making noise, they should not talk. They have responsibility to get things done. They should stop talking. Nigeria is going through failing periods, which enables. Please, guys, there are very good things coming through. Please like the page, like the page, like the
Thank
page.
you. Please tell them
It's
to
very
support
important.
the host with mango, with coffee,
Like
cake, day, tea.
ensure that
Hmm?
and we keep going on. Like the page. I think good that we're getting a lot of response. Okay, Kenneth is disagreeing with somebody.
Uh, like the page and please support the host too. Host is cold over here. It's now winter for us, so I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
winter weather. The sun is not coming out. I feel like
Please
I'm in
help
Alaska.
us, help the host drink some tea. Help the
And
host drink some tea.
Bikonu,
Do something, do
eh?
something.
Do
I disagree
something.
at Imo. The pain we are suffering is not productive.
I'm telling you, it's not. I agree with Kenny. It's not
So the
productive
pain,
suffering.
are you trying to say that the pain should increase, or I want to get what you're saying, that the
I,
pain is not
okay, you will
productive, the
explain it.
suffering is not productive. Can you explain yourself, Kenny? Because maybe this one is deep. Imo
You
says
see,
after
after I
all,
said that something good must come out of all this suffering, and everybody go wake up. Well, if you think about it that way, and then the pain since 1917, they don't put date on now. That's
okay.
true. Now since
So
1914, we
so
don't they feel
the
this
so,
pain.
well, when you go to hospital, they ask you of pain levels. All right, what's the level of pain? Maybe in 1914 the level of pain was just 1. So we keep growing until we get to 10. Maybe we are closer to 10 now. Then we can now apply, very strong morphine. But Nigeria takes painkillers. I want to put that one that once we increase one pain increase, Nigeria always goes to chemist and takes painkiller, and we chill and we move. So except maybe once it gets to 10, there will no strong painkiller anymore. Then we don't know what will happen. Then there will have to be a surgical operation. We have to maybe remove the pain surgically and through different kinds of intervention. So uh yes, the pain is there, but it has always been at different levels. So like what Imoye said. I think we need the pain to get to a level where people will now have to react. Like, okay, last few weeks we saw different pockets of reaction, but it has not carried any traction. Everybody has gone back. Everyone has gone back to we have taken some little painkillers and then chilling. So I don't think the suffering is at the point that Nigeria will be on the streets. Like I said, if we don't, if the North does not react, let's just chill. It's still, the pain is manageable. The pain is still manageable, in my opinion. People are still managing it. The diaspora is still giving some money to cushion the pain in our families, in our homes. People, like we always suggest, are banding together so that they can eat. So the pain is not yet, the suffering and pain has not increased to very, very difficult levels. But the truth is this: Nigeria is already sinking and in a massive slide. All right, the government has no clue what to do. They are no clue. Nigerians are too resilient. Our mumu don't do. No, our mumu never do. I don't agree that our mumu don't. When your mumu don't do,
They
you
go
wake up.
enter streets.
But the mumu is still there. All right. Studying for exams, sleepless night is pain because you are investigating in yourself, invest in yourself. But if you wake up and just they receive flood, that's suffering. That's suffering with no reason. Ah. So, Kene, are you trying to say that Nigerians are suffering without reason?
Now, studying for exam, sleepless night is pain because you are investing in yourself, investing in yourself. But if you wake up and just they receive flogging, it's true now. You use
So,
candle
so,
daily.
so
You use
basically,
candle
Kene is
daily
trying to
go
say
school.
that
When you come
that
out for school, you go trek, all your shoe go pit, you see
that
work.
if we are
When you come
suffering
finally
and
see
this,
the work, they no go
yeah,
pay you what is due you.
yeah,
On top of that, they'll turn you to slave for the work if you are not careful. Then
yeah,
you know go even you go some people they'll come out for school 10 years, they still they find work. Which and they look back now, I'm like, man, now lack of analytical mind. That maybe people they 10 years, they no get work, they'll just stay like that. Because if you
yeah.
don't have a job, you can start doing something. You feel they fry akara, you feel they bad person here, you feel they serve market, you feel they go farm, go they plant, they sell, you feel
You
start to
see,
they do fashion
Omoye,
design.
all those things are good. The truth is that Nigerians can do all those things, but even if you want to do those things, there's the environment is not enabling you to even start. That's the
No,
problem.
now, but back then it was somewhat okay. Now the enabling is the environment is frustrating you, but back then you
Mm,
could start something, you could
one
do
or two things,
something.
yeah,
You
yeah. You
understand?
could do
Like,
one or two things, yeah,
because I had
definitely.
people I went to school with them. You come out then you see them a year, like they've not had a job since they left you, since you guys left
Mm,
school.
mm,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There were so many things that you could have done. That's why I'm saying that the analytical mind and the creative mind to be able to use your hand to create resources for yourself.
So,
If
so
they
Omoye, don't
don't,
you think that
Mhm.
we should now think our school differently? Our education
Absolutely,
should
absolutely,
be rejigged in such a way that when before people graduate from school, they should have, like most countries they do it, they should have courses where you do enterprise, enterprise
yes,
courses. So
yes,
they are like
equipped
they are equipping courses, but you don't need to pass
to
exams for it.
self
Ehen.
rely. Yeah,
So if people go through those courses as part of the school curriculum, even from, I even suggest it from primary school, you will have a mindset of innovation. Like in Israel, in Israel, they have what they call innovation hubs, innovative hubs in Israel. So what they do is that they get young people from get-go, they put them in rooms, they put them in groups. All right, look at the farming industry, disrupt it. Think about the farming industry, think about technologies to disrupt it. They bring this group, think about military, they bring health. So that's why Israel is one of the most innovative nations in the world. Most of the technologies we are using, PayPal, different kinds of things that we see happening in in the software ecosystem, in fintech ecosystem, in medicine, farming technologies, different technologies are run by very young people. So it means that the education is not just theories, but now you are creating enterprise hubs. So we need to think education differently. And I think our education, the 6334 system, has been running for goodness knows why. And then we do all these selective things where somebody in Zamfara will get 2 in common entrance, then somebody in Imo or Anambra will get 200, and then you admit the person from Zamfara in King's College, the person from Imo doesn't have admission. All those things, all those things should be really rejigged so that Nigeria can have different. So the graduate comes out, he has a degree in his hand, but he's also enterprising. He can now move that degree into enterprise if he doesn't have a job. I think that is a very big thing, because even our family, they just tell us, okay, go to school, read, get a job. Go to school, read, get a job. That's the narrative. Instead of, okay, you're going to school, but what can you do? How can you create wealth? You know, I think the Igbos do it much better in an informal way. But even with the Igbos doing it in an informal way, you notice that it's Igbos that did not have opportunity most times for formal education. So they use that trading education to do it. Or I beg to disagree, my Ogare. Um, they caught the Hamas digging tunnels. They did that in the last not before these issues, the last one. They did that, but this one took them by surprise. And also sometimes, you know, it may not be by surprise. They may have intelligence, but oftentimes it depends on the prime minister to act immediately on intelligence. They may still have been trying to watch, and then suddenly they sprung the surprise. But at the end of the day, who is suffering is the Palestinian people and Hamas. Because when you do that, and Israel turns on you because they will coalesce and turn on Hamas, what has happened? They push the people out because there was no other way to escape. Either they go through the wilderness of Zin and into Egypt, or they go into the Mediterranean Sea. That was the only option for the Palestinian people. And it's so sad, that innocent people are caught in this web of a war. And can you imagine? Okay, the Middle Eastern people, especially Egypt, couldn't open their borders to allow Hamas through, because Egypt doesn't want a spillover of the Hamas issues into the Egyptian way of life. Egypt wants to preserve, as Sisi wants to preserve whatever is Egypt, because the last time Egypt allowed such kinds of movement into its territory, it created what is called the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood took over power after the ousting of the last Egyptian leader,
Wow.
but that last Egyptian leader was brought back, and Al-Sisi took over and then brought Egypt to calmness. So nobody wants that kind of influx into Egypt. But you can imagine, our president opened the gates for Hamas to come here. He opened the gates. Say, come around, come around. Our president is looking for all kinds of money. But some of this money that he's looking for is not necessary. He should have not opened the gates to the Hamas official, because he has to be bipartisan in his political international political engagement. But Israel, you can't deny the technology, especially with their Iron Dome. I mean, it's pretty much impressive. The Iron Dome that protects the Israeli nation is pretty much impressive. Pretty much. You need to see it in operation, and you'll be amazed at what level of technology those guys have. A tour guide received Tinubu on Qatar to see some. I think Omoye knows more of that story than myself.
Na abeg na im ancestors e go visit. I want I don't know. I hear say the tour guide come collect am, carry am go see im ancestor for museum.
And that was, like I said, that one is just a political. They it's a safe face to save our face politically, and not to make it look as if they denied him visa. Imagine denying a president visa. They get a CB now. So allow him come. He stroll around the museum. They snap picture with somebody wearing turban. He's happy. He comes back. He say he has met the Qatar people, and I think he wanted them to come into the LS space and all that, but they are not shifting. Those people, they have money. They don't have to. They are in charge of the yam and the knife. so he has come back from that trip. The trip was useless. If the trip made any sense, you will see it on Twitter. They will be talking about it. They will be making rant about it. But it was a shameless trip, very very shameless one. So they don't even want to talk about it, because if they talk about it, trust Gen Z and Houdain will expose them to the cause. So it's better they just quietly keep it quiet and just move on. Do you know the foreign TV stations show the looting and suffering going on in Abuja? No investors are coming. Of course, there's no investor coming. The world is a global village. All right, the world is a global village. Those times they used to tell us investors. Those times we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have anything. They'll say, "Oh, they are going to for investment." You see all of them pack their things. We think that they are going for serious something. They just went for junket. But now it's very obvious. Investors don't move. They know where to go. Like I said yesterday, there are gatekeepers. You call the gatekeepers, they deal with you. Yesterday, as I was talking, I went online to check. Already, this guy is already talking to African Development Bank. OT. OT is already talking to African Development Bank with regard to a major project he wants to start in Abia. I said, this guy, take it easy. You're oppressing guys. You're oppressing governors.
Make
just,
he press their neck.
just relax.
Make he
Just
hold them
relax.
by the jugular. Make he hold them by their cajones. I
So
want make it make nothing
I
dey
was like,
left.
oh my god, OT, take it easy, I beg. No oppress these guys now. Take it easy, take it easy. So it's amazing what OT is up to. How can you just start calling African Development Bank to give him funds so that he can start? So have you seen OT travel? The question is that OT, has he traveled? No, because that traveling has cost. There's no need to travel. Use the money and build roads. Use the money and put in hospital. That's what must happen. You're just traveling everywhere, going to see museum. No matter how you were worried. Now, our only country we go confidently call our own. If they pursue us where we they will me and they stay positive. Oh. Yeah, bro. Imo, you have to stay positive. That's why we're talking. I think that's why there's always this narrative, There's this thing that, okay, let's abandon it. Let's leave them to do their thing. But the truth is that the way the world is going, there comes a time you say, you know what, I want to go home to where I feel comfortable, to where nobody looks at me and all that. And yes, the world, and these days now, the way work operations happen, there are many people. COVID rejigged the world. COVID caused a reset. And through COVID, you have had many jobs that you can do. You can work remotely, work globally. Even now, people can work even in law firms. You can work globally. Many cases sometimes are done remotely through Zoom and all that. So the world, there's so much different kinds of technology people can work. So if you have internet supply, light supply in Nigeria, there are some jobs you can work from your village. So far as there's internet, there's light. You go to your village, you have your farm, you have your laptop, you function globally because you are now a global citizen. And that's what we need to see. That's what we're saying, that if Edo gets it right, okay, we have two companies, two states that have got it right. And I pray that a guy in the north will get it right and say, you know what, let me create farming, districts. Let me create farming districts in the north, improve farming, mechanize farming, improve food, start exporting. That's a good, make sure that everything is good. People will start returning home, living in their homes when there's security, light, and basic amenities of life like water. Before you know, Nigerians will start creating jobs for themselves. Obasake don't go buy ambulance to come. I mean, you won't blame him now. I mean, buying ambulance is very important. I don't know how many ambulances are even in Nigeria, which is very sad. And that's even low hanging fruit.
I'm
Just tell
telling
and
you, he's going to
just
rush
tell
and buy ambulance. Now, they
he's buying ambulance, but you don't know whether he's expecting that this election will be war. So he needs ambulance to carry people. So but joke aside, I think all these things they are doing, is it that he couldn't buy ambulance since? Eh? And when they give you, the problem is if you ask them how much did you pay for this ambulance, that's where they steal money. That's where they steal money, you know. And can't you tell innocent nod, say, guys, can you guys create ambulances? They will tell you yes, they produce it, more jobs. So I think our people don't think well. No big governor OT, they start something good. So when they replicate it go better. Exactly. Uh like I said, let's keep praying for OT because um the rate at which it's going, some people they vex, so some people they vex. So um we need to we need to ensure that he he you know that the US consulate went to visit OT recently for collaboration and cooperation. Investor will come to you. That's Otis mantra. Investor go come say, US go come say, how far? What can we do? It's not you running around to museum. That thing is very strange. You How can governor like this, US consulate is coming to visit him? That's why I say Otis pressing people. You should take it easy. You should take it easy. He's oppressing people.
let him
The US
squeeze everything out of them.
the
He
US
never
consulate,
started it. I think they say he's building a seaport.
yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah. He
already
has started
working on
dredging
this.
it.
Oh my
Yes,
God, I love it. I
he has
want it
started
when it's
dredging already.
done, to be like Dubai. All of us go need to get visa. Okay?
He
If you're not
oppress
from
people.
Abia State, go and take form. I go proudly take form. Okay? Yeah. Let him continue. He should squeeze everything out
The
of
guy is
them.
oppressing people. You should take it easy. You should calm down. You should calm down. Let's not oppress people because this will have bad belly. Oh, they have bad belly. They have bad belly. So
No matter
that
how the bad belle wey dey do, dem no fit do anything about the progress. They cannot. They can't because
is
the people are seeing the difference. Their heart is awakening. They are ready to fight to the finish. We sef, when we dey see am from a distance, we go join dem, follow dem fight. Dem dey craze.
look at the other day. European Union and International Labour Organization and UNICEF, they came to visit him to see a social protection policy in Abia. So you see top organizations globally that come to visit him. That is what it is. You create the honey, the bees will come. It's normal. You don't need to dey run around. Why they run around? Go where? You create what you want, they go start to come. This is a power project. Okay, this man has said what he's doing. Okay, can we push money there? Because they have interest. Simple. So and I think he has a very good media team. So as they are pushing it on social media, people go dey vex. Oh my god. Wow. I just want to I need to be promoting him so that all these governors and the state they need to hear. When he started in January, he got what is called the Abia Global Economic Advisory Council. Do you know what that is? Abia Global Economic Advisory Council. All right. These are top people in from Abia to be part of it, but not only from Abia. He got even, so there was Okonje Iweala in that committee, Benedict Orama. Benedict Orama is a guy from African Development Bank, I think so. He got even Sanusi to co-chair. This is how a man that thinks outside the box operates. He got people like Sanusi, that means the former, I think emir of Kano or something. He got different people from different walks of life to be part of Abia Global Economic Council. So he's not looking at Abia State from just Abia State. He's looking at Abia State as, there's something that somebody said. He's not looking at Abia State as if competing with, he's not competing with Lagos. He wants to compete with Dubai. That's what he said. He wants to compete with Dubai. He wants Abia State to be a hub. So he now gets technocrats, not because of they come from Abia State. Did anybody complain? Nobody complained. Oh, why didn't you only put Abia people? No. It's a global council, economic global council. What he put together, Tinubu could not put it for Nigeria. That's what you expect Tinubu to sit down and bring a global economic council of Nigerians and say, let us fix this nation. But a state governor is showing example since January. So when you are seeing performance on the ground, that's why you say, make them God preserve this man. They oppress people. What he's doing is high level. You see a man that is prepared. So the only thing is that other governors will now feel very bad, and that's, look, why is this guy doing this now? Because our people will start asking us, no be your mate, no be your mate, they do that thing. Now your mate they do, and so why are you not showing us the money? Are Abia people not suffering the same fuel crisis and all that? Are Abia people not doing okay? Yes, exactly. I've remembered. OT has already begun modular refineries. That's what shocked me yesterday. He has already started the concepts of modular refineries. And this is what we have been saying. Once we have 2 or 3 modular refineries, what will happen that it will crash the price of fuel. That means we have local, small, man-made small refineries that can refine crude for local consumption. So we don't need the big refineries. There are modular refineries. 2, 3 people can put heads together, put money together, and have a modular refinery. They get crude at subsidized price, and then before you know, you can now produce your fuel, kerosene, gasoline for just local consumption, not for exportation. That way, you will see that you have a very local price, because NNPC will sell to that modular refinery at very subsidized price in terms of crude. They will sell at very subsidized price in terms of crude. Then they are able to produce. You see it? Modular refinery will be ready next. This guy go oppress person. If they oppress, his thinking is completely different. If he sets it up, you go to Aba, you get cheap fuel. Problem. They should learn. I said it yesterday. Go and sit down and learn from this guy. Seriously. Go and sit down and learn. So we need modular refineries in River State. We need modular refineries in Delta State. If you have modular refinery in Delta State, it will cover Delta and Edo. Because you don't need to drive a refinery from Kaduna or anywhere else. Those ones are very big. Those ones you use it for exportation. Then the market will flood with kerosene and this, and then the prices will just drop. Because now you can control the prices. If you control the prices of the distribution and everything, because they are not going to distribute very long distances. They are only going to distribute within Abia and maybe Imo State. Then you have some modular in Delta State. then it will distribute across the south. You have another modular in. I'm telling you, Edo has modular refinery, but it's like a toothless. No, they is money for the boys now. When you don't have sincere governance, when you these things about sincere governance, all right. If you have a sincere governor, you know, like Oti. Oti said he's a millionaire. His children are millionaires. So he doesn't need the money. That's why he's working. That is why he's working. He has enterprise already. I think somebody talked about it. He already has enterprise. He had already made money before he became governor. So no extra money is necessary for him to live. Is the Obi template. Thank you very much, Kenneth. Is the Obi template. Obi said he will make illegal refineries legal. That's it. Once you make illegal refineries legal, that's over. It's over. Fuel will be everywhere. Fuel will be everywhere. And it will be professionally done. You give them small and medium size loans to begin to do the modular refineries. And that's it. It will crash fuel. There will not be any need. Bunkering will be useless. There's no need to do bunkering anymore because everything has been legalized. Everything has been legalized. You just have to give them some professional expertise to make it nice, to package it correctly. So it's the right packaging, and then fuel. You don't need all these tanker problems in Lagos. Oh, tankers are going on strike. This one in LMA, tankers are going on strike. They go on strike on their own. Another guy will start a small tanking business in Abia State and move within Abia. Is local production. So that's what it means, from consumption to production. Local production, it will crash it. As soon as it crashes it, the crash in the fuel pump price will crash the transportation price. And if he's able to get his electric trains that he proposes on board in Abia State, what happens is that the price of transportation within Abia State and the local environment is completely reduced. You don't need to enter bus now. You don't need to pay much. Just pay a little. You're able to enter train and move. So you will notice that everything will just come down. Then prices of goods and services will be sustainable. That's how you do it. And investments will roll in. If I have a pharmaceutical company and I know that there's light there, I just come and discuss with the governor. Hey, governor, is there a possibility to give me land? I want to establish a drug company here. Governor say, oh, brilliant. We have light, we have power. So you pay at a little price. You have constant power, constant light, and then it's going to employ about how many thousand young people in the industry. He say yes. Well, come and take land, build. How long will you do it? I say in the next 3 years is up and running. Fine, build. You have drug company, and then you start exporting it. You start taking your tax from that. That's how to build economy. No drama. If you have sincere leaders, there's no drama in this. Obaseki gave Edo state governors 20% stake. It's private MOU governor. Ogare, you and Obaseki, people have a bone to settle. So I don't know. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we need someone leaders, not power drum. Guys, please keep liking the page. We need more likes. There are a lot of people here, so let's like the page.
Thank you very much, Sid.
And our sister needs some tea. The weather is cold.
I'm telling
So
you.
do something. I started talking to the Chinese for light trade. It will connect problem. You should calm down. No. Uti should calm down. It's causing too much wahala. These governors don't like this kind of thing. I know Nigerian governors, they have bad belly. They don't like this kind of thing.
They like they get bad belle from now to tomorrow. All the Nigerians are seeing the good work that Abia State is doing. We go follow Abia people join beat anybody when near them.
No, now tomorrow Oti will say he wants to be president. They will forget the good work. They will say no, he's a bad man. That's the problem.
We are everything dey social media now. Everything is being documented. So this one is in real time. So there's no excuse. If that man come and say want to be president or more, I go hawk him. I go dey front. Are you kidding? Who not like better thing?
Wow.
Me when they think of how I want to relocate, change my name to I want Abia name. I bet I dey look
Wow.
for who go adopt me for
The
Abia first.
can you imagine the Polish ambassador to Nigeria paid
Yeah,
him a visit, and they want to open areas of mining, education, and culture and agriculture
see,
with the Abia governor. You see, business will come and meet you. You don't need to be traveling. You need travel, go museum. Travel for what? Sit where you are. Create the environment. They will come and knock on your door. Say, how far? How far? Let's do something. That's how it works. You know, the lady visits from Poland. They want to create industrial hub of the southeast. Can you imagine? And start running so that those area markets, as they are producing, they will now start fine-tuning it and exporting. See, no. When a man knows what he's doing, he knows it. That's why it's annoying me with Soludo. That's why it's annoying me with Soludo. You have been there for 3 years now. You have been there for 2 years plus now. Nothing. Just big talk. Big talk. Big talk, nothing. And this man is almost the shortest governor in Nigeria. Short but mighty. And I'm not saying that short is bad, please, guys. I'm just saying that it's not in the size. It's not in the size. It's in the capacity within to deliver. That's just it. It's the capacity within to deliver. He went to Enugu for Light Eastern Nigeria project. I know. Oh man, even the Enugu governor. You see, when you don't have the governor the people want, they start doing rubbish. The guy that is governor of Enugu that have faith certificate somehow, he managed in Supreme Court. You know, our Supreme Court, and gave him what's happening in Enugu. Nothing. You know, I pray. I'm really praying for Edo. Omoye, you are the Edo person now. Please pray for him. Let them not make mistake. Oh.
I pray I'm on the matter. I
Let them not
probably
make
start.
mistake because
I'll probably start bringing
my
the
my
politics,
my
talking
my
about
jo- my
yes.
my joy will be that we have another governor in Edo that is ready to build, that is ready to really push. You know, if we have a governor in Edo that can do the same thing OT is doing, because OT is not in the big money spinning state. Same with Edo. Edo has brilliant people. My God, like you wonder, like why? When we talk of Edo in terms of like education, sports, like technocrats, no, that state is supposed to be ranking, like a ranking state. You know, agriculture. Kai. No, no. It's when I look at some things, I just look and I'm sad, you know. I say, when will we get it right? But let's start from our states. I think, like you said, that's one thing that you said last time that was really, it was very, very, very on point. You know, if the states get it, if we start working state by state, okay, Edo, look at Imo State now. What's Imo governor doing? Hope Uzodinma. Rubbish. When you are not, when you don't have anything, you don't have anything. Imo is supposed to be like Abia because Imo gets some oil money in some parts, but the governor, no clue, no clue. He just follows Tinubu and goes for museum check. You begin to wonder, like seriously. But thank God for OT, and he's really carrying the flag of Labour Party. He's the only Labour governor, so he's showing it that this is Labour Party. At least we have Labour Party has mouth. Labour Party now has mouth. Say, if you want to show example, just say, what we'll be using is Peter Obisi, go and verify Abia. That's what we'll be saying. Go and verify Abia. When you ask us question, go and verify Abia. That's a Labour government. When you ask us, we say, go and verify in Abia. That's a Labour government. That verifies what kills people now. When you tell Peter Obi, say, go and verify, go to Anambra and verify. Don't ask me. Stop asking me questions. Go and verify. That's what we should be telling them. When you talk, go to Abia, go and verify. There was this video I saw. I don't know if you've seen it. There was this girl from Abia State. She did a video. I don't know if it's TikTok or YouTube. She was singing and saying that they've had constant power supply for 3 days uninterrupted. She couldn't believe herself. Everywhere they cooled down.
Yep.
As a problem in Nigeria, a man has delivered this. Oh, forget. Kai. Oh, Peter B, we miss you. We miss Peter B. Now, the whole Nigeria for don't they enjoy now power supply. Because Peter B said that's what he wants to attack. You attack that power supply. How would there not be power in this country? How? For years, people were born in darkness. We are still in that same darkness. How? No. I trust Oti. So it's good on him, and I pray that he will continue on this trajectory, and it will be well. At least if he's able to give a sample, I think there will be more demand on state governors. People will start demanding on their state governors, to do more. Especially for me, the rich states, River State, Delta State. Those places should be like Dubai, to be honest. But the governors are just they are not in this space. All right, I think that's me for today.
Thank you so much for coming to drop your knowledge with us again. I always look forward to when you come, and I'm always very happy when I see you because you have so much information to give us. It was such an amazing show tonight. I appreciate each and every one.
Thanks.
Really say, I heard a woman took her kids to the police station and went to buy herself because of the present. Oh my God.
Oh no.
This is
Wow.
happening a lot now. It's not the first one
Yeah,
I'm hearing about.
there's a lot of depression. There's a lot of depression, that's why, like, every time we try and encourage people, I say, let's look out for each other. I know the situation is very hard, the hardship is unbearable. I mean, people can't eat one square meal now. It's very hard. So please, guys, those that are able to watch this after, look out for your neighbors. Nigeria is always a people of community. Look out for neighbors. If you have Gary to share. If you have Agbado to share. Please look out for people. Think of community farming. People can gather together, use somebody that has space, do some little subsistence farming, and you don't have to shout on the soil for the seed to sprout. Yes, it's a new crop of, but God will keep that family, because
It's
for a mother
so
to get to that point, and she need that, okay, let me just keep the children with the police, and then
yeah.
at least they will have somewhere to give them or adopt them. But you can
I pray
imagine
that they will
the
fall into the
pain.
right hands because there's wickedness too.
Yeah. But it's just like, for her to be at that stage is the level of hopelessness she has got to, like, no help
Yeah.
whatsoever. And that's why I was saying that even religious bodies don't, I know they do a lot of giving out food and all that, but I think the best approach would be to create little farm areas or little garden areas within the church. Kumi was saying it recently, and that told me that he's thinking. All right, the Kumi is the deeper life man. He was saying that, look, don't bring this. This is a large percentage of the offering will now go to the people, and that is like radical shift. For a top geo like that to say that look, God has blessed him. You know what? Some part of the stop they are doing a building project. He said, stop the building project, now move funds, large percentage of funds, to people to eat, because building project is just building project. If somebody needs money for hospital, you need to give them hospital to live. What is building project? So that means that, you know, they are beginning to see the pressure because every day people are knocking on their doors. So what can big mosque and big churches do? Look, they have lands. Most of the churches have land. Catholic Church, Anglican, Baptist, whatever. Create small parcels of those lands on lease. It can be on lease basis for parishioners to do some little small scale farming, goat farming, chicken, basic things, vegetables. So, and it can be manned by the same parishioners. They will take care of it on that lease basis. They come in, they work in there, and they get eggs. And you see that there will be some little small scale production. Okay, eggs are coming. Parishioners that need eggs come and take free. We need to start thinking differently so that people can survive. So that
Right.
people can survive. Because now it's survival mode. When you enter survival mode, you're not thinking of this. So I feel that people, we need to send out these messages as much as possible. Churches, especially, people, communities, neighborhoods. You have small parcel of land that nobody is using to do anything. Let it be opened for farming, so that people in the community will farm on that land. It's nobody's own, nobody owns it, but the community adopts the land and then produces, and people can come and take food, so that people will survive, kids will survive. Now, also, homeschooling, people in communities look together. Okay, can we school the children together, teaching them things? We need to adopt our education too. Okay, what of if they can't go to school or anything, but how can we do homeschooling, put things online, children can still go? So I think Nigeria need to come to sit down and tell ourselves we are in a mess, the country is sinking, and it's not
Right.
the first time. It's not the first time. US has gone through what is called the Great Depression. The whole world has gone through what they call the Great Depression, where things like this were happening. Even in the Bible, what this woman did is even close to what happened in the Bible. In the Bible, women ate their children. That was a level of hunger. They say, okay, my own child I'll eat, then your own child, and then it create problem because they ate the woman's child. Then the turn of her own friend to bring her child, the woman refused to bring child. Then they went to the king and said, this is our arrangement. Now, why? The king just even got tired. Say, what can I do? So for a woman to do that, you know that it is already very, 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 very sad. And I'm telling you, if it was not for diaspora money, if it is not for diaspora money that goes into Nigeria for family and friends, if for bad, it would have been worse than this. So diaspora money is what is cushioning things. So please, guys that are out there, let's talk to our families, let's talk to our friends. Nigeria doesn't think like this. Everybody is thinking of their own. But now it's time to think for the community, put things together. People should band together, look for where to have small scale farming. At least, even if it is producing cassava, and then you can do the gari and all that, tapioca, banana, anything. People should start functioning together. That way, you can cushion the effect. And so such women will not have been in a very desperate situation, because what she is in a desperate situation. Maybe she couldn't feed her children, and she's seen her children suffer and are hungry. So it means, who was around her? Didn't she have a neighbor? Couldn't she speak? Maybe she was feeling ashamed. So this is not a time for people to feel ashamed. Please cry out. What are the NGOs doing? This is a time for NGOs to begin to action out. And why I talk about churches and mosques, that's where majority of Nigerians go to every Friday, every Sunday. Let us think outside the box to see what can happen. Yes, people are selling their properties to Japan, but Japan is not the solution, because when you sell all the properties, the money is useless. The money, it has no value. Your 1 million naira means nothing globally. And then when the person comes overseas, that money will go out without, in 3 months is finished. And when the person comes overseas, do they have the right papers to even have better work? So, some of
Sorry,
these things are
Sid.
realities.
Yeah,
Mm.
I just want to respond to Imo Soki's comment. What do you think about compulsory? Yeah, I think that's very important. Compulsory technical education I think is important because it will help, people get used to using their hands to create wealth for themselves, to be honest.
Yeah,
It will
we
help
used to
them
have that.
channel
We
their
used to have that.
creativity. Yeah.
We
I
used to
think they
have
should have
technical schools.
technical school. They should have
We had them. We had
we had
technical
them
schools.
before, yeah, I know, but they
Yeah,
should bring it back. And then where they have, you know, I don't forget what they call this thing now. Why? It will be the name of this school where people will
polytechnic.
just eh?
Is it polytechnic?
No, it's not polytechnic. Is it it's not is this the same technical school where they learn all kinds of things?
Okay, okay, okay.
I don't forget what
Yeah,
it.
it's called yeah, but it's, I use the word technical, but I know what you mean. It's schools that you learn different kinds of jobs, I guess. Nigerians allow the retarded. I beg to disagree. Victory all the way. Um, I think Nigerians voted massively for Peter Obi. Peter Obi actually won the election. North, south, west. Peter Obi won the election. People were ready to. I think the message was very clear. Nigerians voted. People came out to even get their cards, but INEC frustrated uh, Nigerians. There was this thing that came out on social media by an INEC official that on the day of election, all the junior officers were sent out to the field. The senior guys stayed online, and they brought different ICT personnel to control the ICT. And that's where the rigging happened. That they saw the elections in River State, that River State, Peter Obi won landslide. Peter Obi won landslide in Lagos. He had about 1.9 million votes in Lagos. So Peter Obi won the election. And the shocker was that the votes from the north were the shocker. A lot of the northern votes, the middle belt votes, they were Peter Obi, Plateau, Benue. All right. So they had to shut down the system. And when that happens and the power in place, APC, what do you want the people to do? To be killed like they killed them in Lekki? So we should give the Nigerian people, I'm not saying that we should have come out on the
You
day
don't see how
and
many
protest.
keywords you must drop super chat. At the
Most
end this show now, I beg. No
sorry.
this thing, no tea, nothing. Come one finish me for you. Oh yeah, it's time. Let's wrap
So
it up.
let's wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Otis already starting free technology school. Okay. Yeah. Kenneth, take it easy. Alex Otis, make it no dey cause problem. It's giving us too much headache now.
Mm.
We have Polytechnic
See, I
Nigeria.
can't thank you enough. I don't know. You dey always come with the knowledge, man. Sometimes I go even say,
Great.
I just open this. Make sit come educate us, abeg. Eh? This is honestly, I'm commercial school. God go bless
Yeah,
you.
commercial
Select
school. Yeah.
commercial school. I knew
Yeah.
I was remember commercial. You learn all kinds of things. When you
Yeah.
come out, you can do so many things. You can even man, people used there were so many things that craft. They had
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
economics inside it. They had
But
carpentry. I remember
but you see,
carpentry then.
yeah, carpentry and
Um,
different things. Um,
yes,
sewing,
mechanic,
seam
even
strength,
mechanic, learning
home
how to do
economics. Yeah.
fix cars. I remember. They had it in some places. So from there, some people will get so engrossed with
But
fixing cars.
the problem is that our educational system does not recognize that. So if we start recognizing it,
And
then
that's the thing
people,
now. If they bring it
that,
back, they will have to find a way to
yeah,
make
you give them certification. You give them certification, recognize
baking,
it.
sewing,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah. Recognize it. You know,
exactly.
in some countries they say
Trade schools.
certificate
That's
three,
what they call in
certificate four.
America. I think
Yeah,
trade.
certificate three, certificate four, trade school. So they
Yeah,
give them those things, trade school, and they give them certificates, and then they create a pathway. They create a pathway from there. So if you intend to now go to uni, you can
then
go
you
to
cannot
uni.
use your money. If you don't
Yeah,
have money, you cannot use gather money and use to go to a university for further
yeah,
education.
for
Absolutely.
further education.
And
So, but
victory
you
all
don't
the
do that.
way, right? Victory
Mm,
all the way. You say we allow the criminal. They're supposed to have been on the street for a long time. But you know what? Maybe they have to. The hunger has to. Maybe it wasn't time for them to hit the street. It's
yeah,
the hunger has to be intense enough to drive them out. Until you get to that stage, you are not ready. You understand? So
yeah, I agree with you.
unfortunately, until
I
we
agree
get
with
to
you.
that stage, we are not ready.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
yeah, uh,
definitely, I agree with you.
Nigerians have gotten used to the hardship. I think when mechanical, carpentry, and masonry, arts, farming is trained earlier, um short man syndrome, how e take do am? Abeg, the man dey work oh, forget that thing. Nigerians look, yeah, because they don't provide them any sense of what's it called, confidence in
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they
yeah,
do,
yeah,
and pride in what they do. That's why they
yeah.
look down on it. If
Yes,
they
yes,
knew
that's
better, they won't look down on it, because the work of your hand is a gift. You know how
yeah.
many people
And
crave
if they
and wish
pay,
that they
yeah.
had that?
And if they have, if it's well regulated and they get,
Exactly.
they collect pay, then you will notice that people want to do that.
Exactly,
They
and
will
they'll be
not
more
care about.
attentive. They'll pay attention to it. They'll
Yeah,
want to improve upon it. They will
it's
have
just like
pride in it.
it's just
Back in the
like
day, people used to be very proud of what they did.
yeah, even back in the day, how many people wanted their children to be musicians? None. But now
None of them.
you see the musicians, Davido and all those guys. You see them on world stage. They are rich. They are very, So now every child wants to know how to sing. Every child wants to know how to play an instrument. So that's how society is. You have to improve those areas, and people will now, actually, they can do that. And we have the talent for it. We have the people for it. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, all right, so my people, it's been
All
real.
right.
I draw the
Thanks,
curtain here.
guys.
Sid, I really, really appreciate you again. I can't even say that enough. Thank you so
Thank you.
much
Thank you
for
very
being on
much
the
for
panel, for your
the
knowledge,
opportunity.
for always giving us your time. You could be doing something else, but you choose to be here. I don't take it for granted. I want you to know that. And thank you all for those in the comment section. Ray, thank you so much. Thank you for your kind comments. One Nigeria, thank you for the super chat. Now let you give me super chat for tea. God will bless you. Kene, thank you, my village brother. Kene, please let me know the scores with the fight between what's his name? What are their names now? Those two people, Ngano and the other guy that are fighting. Abeg, let me know. I can't watch it. My heart will be breaking. I can't stand it.
Gano and Joshua.
Joshua, I can't watch it. My heart no fit carry am. The two of I
Why?
like both of them well well. I know I know want
Don't worry yourself. Both of them will collect money after the fight, so it's
make
okay.
dem equalize. No, make dem equalize for that fight. Make
They
be
will
say
collect
dem no
money.
win,
They will collect
make dem no
money.
get winner. Yeah, now I go prepare. I no like
The,
as they pair dem together, to be honest. The thing pain me oh, e still dey pain me. The fact say the fight dey come on soon e dey vex me, you know. But anyway, una well done. Thank you very much. Oh,
thank
Ray,
you,
God will
guys.
bless
Have a
you.
good one. All right,
Obaro,
cheers.
thank you. Yeah, have a great night. See, thank you so much. Enjoy your week, the rest of your week. I go see you on Friday, by the way. Oh, actually, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to stream the space with Olumide so that we can talk about it later. So I'll stream the space here, and then it's at 11 a.m. So, well, my time. Forest guards have been scrapped. Yes, leaving the bushes. Exactly. We used to have forest guards. God will bless you. Hey, that's true. what I went to say, when young people acquire these skills early, it became a foundation. Send them exactly. That used to be the way, because they used to have something to. Because a lot, if you notice back then, people used to go to university a lot. Once they have that trade work, that's what they used to set up. And then as they get along, if they want to now, maybe they have a direction they want to go in, they will now go back to school. That's what used to happen back then. So it is what it is. Anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night, and I'll certainly see you on on my next live. Ephrata, I'm just shutting down now, but you can watch it on replay. Yeah, but I'm gonna be here too. I'm gonna stream the Olumide space. He's gonna be on Twitter tomorrow at 11. So I'm gonna stream it. So you're aware. I'm gonna schedule it and bring it here so everybody can watch, and then we can talk about it later. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. It's been real. Now God go punish Mahmoud. Victory, this matter pay. He paying all of us. Not only you. God go bless all of you. Thank you. Good night, Ephrata. Good night. Oh. I'll see you guys another time. Bye.